And we're back. Welcome to Gears of Vengeance after a bit of a hiatus due to COVID vaccines. um,
How'd that go?
Fine. Not as
Awesome.
bad as it could have been. Last time, you guys, first of all, we found out that Shelly was kind of following the people around, the other guys around for a bit on the previous day, and kind of met up with them again and sort of joined the group in the Havani camp. And then the next day, you guys did a little bit of work for taking some equipment up to a mine. You then had a little bit of a problem because some of the stuff was the counts weren't correct, so they couldn't sign off. Almost had a little bit of an issue there. Got a kid in trouble for it. Um,
Uh,
and then you kind of broke up for a little bit. Um, and eventually got back together. Broke up for a little bit where, um, who's it? What's it? Artemis and Silva had went into the mining camp to see if they could find some work there. Talked to what seems to have been an herbalist of some sort. Well, at least Silva did. Uh, when Artemis tried, he found out that there's reverse racism in this world, and then learned that she was looking for some herbs and where to find them. That's sort of a dangling thread you guys have going. Then talked to Andal, who had found out from some stuff with his brother that, or for trying to talk to his brother, that there's something going on at the mine that he works with. And so you guys headed up there, spending a night in Raventhorpe before making it all the way to the mine, where you started talking to Andal's brother. What was his name again? I literally just looked it up. Um, Callum. Um, and while you were talking to Callum about the mine, there was another series of rock slides and a bunch of rock of dust and stuff came out of the middle out of the mine entrance, and that's where we left off. So you guys are currently near the mine, um, talking to your brother or to Andal's brother, and yeah, there's something just happened inside the mine. Kamal, God, why do I keep on calling Kamal? Callum immediately says, hold on here," and then starts running over towards the front of the mine. What are you guys doing?
well, not holding on there, obviously. Sneak up to the mine. You guys want to go?
Yeah.
So I'm going to take a stealth roll and start going that way.
So people can clearly see you, Artemis. There's no way you can do a stealth roll.
Right, but can I use stealth to like blend in and not be
Nope.
obvious to the crowd?
It's very clear that you are moving to the mine with everybody else. That doesn't mean anybody's really looking or cares
No,
that
that's
you're
true.
moving towards the mine. I'm just saying you're in plain sight. You can't really stealth to the mine. Is all I'm trying to say.
I want to go with
But
the
you
crowd.
can go with the crowd. I'm not saying you can't go.
Okay, I meant blend in.
Yeah,
but,
you don't
and
necessarily
also-
need to do a stealth roll for this.
Okay.
Just because if somebody wants to pay attention to you, they can.
Right. Yeah. I'm not.
Blending in with the crowd. Yeah.
Gotcha.
So you start heading towards that. That's fine. And anybody else doing anything?
I shall follow.
Okay.
Going to the mine.
All right. All right. So
Yeah, so am I.
all right. So you all start heading to the mine entrance. As you get there, you're kind of following behind Callum, and as you get there, you see a couple people come out and and Callum's like, "What happened? What happened?" And the one says, "Well, sir, the connecting tunnel we were trying to make, it collapsed. We lost another couple guys. um, we're gonna have to hope that the other one that they're trying to make on the other side is gonna get through." And Callum looks a little just upset, but it's like, "Well, I understand. Let's try to get those bodies out and to their families, and then we'll hopefully get that other one working."
So I'm going to look for. Let me see what I've got here. Persuasion. I don't have deception. I'm gonna look for someplace to kind of hide though, like another tent or somewhere around.
I mean, like I said before, this thing is sort of fenced in, or not fenced in, walled in. There is like a warehouse. There's some outbuildings. There's not really any tents, but there is kind of some spots where they're like looks like they probably put together the ore and stuff like that into carts to move it. Um, that sort of stuff. There's maybe about I don't know 15 people here in this fenced in area or in the inside the walls. You don't know how many people are in the mine itself.
Okay.
What do you, so you want to try to hide? What's your intent? I guess is the question.
I
I'm
was
asking.
kind of going to see what's going on in here that's so hidden, but I guess it's actually, if it's a cave in, it's not that important. So I'll
Yeah,
just
no,
stay
no.
in the
I
trap.
mean, it's up to you. I was trying to figure out what your intent was, so I could determine what kind of the roll for it. That's all.
I'm trying to remember what we're doing in the campaign and see if there was something going on.
Okay, so
here.
remember, Andal wanted to come here because he wants to find out what's going on with the mine. For I don't remember if he gave you the reasons why, because I haven't had a chance to rewatch the thing.
I don't think I gave them the reasons.
Yeah.
I don't even remember what the reason is.
Well, you
had a mission, I think.
Your mission. You were given a mission by your
Yeah, I was given a mission by the people. And
to find out what's going on there.
Yeah.
To get evidence that the mine is exhausted, so that they can, in essence, stop paying or stop the contract that he's trying to find out. They basically said, "Hey, if we can get this information, then I can leak it to the Baron, and he can stop the contracts." So you just need to get some kind of evidence that the mine is there's no ore in the mine. Let's be very clear about that.
So we could go try to hide in the warehouse, or I'm not incredibly stealthy. Looking at my character, remembering that
you're not. You're an alchemist.
yeah, I'm not. So if somebody wants to hide there, or if we just want to,
Callum turns and looks at you guys like, "I thought I told you to stay over there. No matter. Here, let's go talk in the office." And he gestures for you guys to follow him.
okay.
What do you want to do? I mean, you can still try to hide. I'm not.
Nah, I mean, I'm like I said,
Let's
I'm
go
catching
with
up.
the boy, the lad himself.
Okay. So you head across the whole thing here across the whole distance across is maybe 50 60 feet across, maybe 100 feet across. So it doesn't take you very long to get into what is clearly the office on the side of what is also what might be a warehouse.
Oh, yeah.
Clearly, when they get the ore up here, if they get it up here at the end of the day, they don't try to take it down right away. They put it in the warehouse, lock it up, and then the next day start transporting it down. Is what you kind of surmise based on what you're seeing around here. But what's distinctly missing right now is there's a whole bunch of carts with nothing in them that are just sitting there. B, you would expect at this time of day, because you remember it took you about 3.5 hours to get here from Raventhorpe. It's about midday. You would expect at least a bunch of miners out trying to eating food or at least doing a shift change or something. And you're not seeing any of that. And the third thing is that even like what you consider the normal, like the managers and stuff like that, most of them are not anywhere that you can see. So it's a little odd. So Callum takes you into the office, gestures you inside, and when you're all inside, he closes the door, and then he goes behind a desk and sits down. He offers you some. There's a few chairs around, but not enough for all of you. Clearly, he's used to only having 1 or 2 people in this office at a time. So, but he sits down and says, "It's interesting, brother, that you would be here after my mine has had problems. Can you explain that to me?"
I have no idea what I want to do with this.
Seeing as how we haven't talked in year, 2 years?
It has been a while, yes. We've actually been making excursions out here for a different reason before. I've been tasked by somebody to go look around at some happenings. There have been reports from some of the farmers around here that cattle and livestock have been getting slaughtered by something. So we've been checking around for that. And I knew that there were a couple mines over here, and I was like, we're going to be there anyway. So I happened to go by the main office in Tanalvar today, a couple days ago, and I just decided, I'll see if you happen to be at one of the mines nearby, and if you happen to be at one of them, I would go see if I could, see how you're doing. It has been a while.
I see. Give me a deception roll with
God.
advantage because some of what you're saying is true.
That is true. The best lies have a kernel of truth.
That is true.
I did not roll that. Oh,
No,
I guess it's
you
with
got advantage. So, your brother narrows his eyes a little bit while you're talking, and he says, "So you say you've been looking for ruins in the hoods, have you? Have you found
We
any?
talk about the ruins.
Well, you said you were out here in the.
I said I was here looking for the. I remember
Oh.
when we went through town the one time. The farmer said that there were things.
No. I thought but you had said somebody was sending you out here.
Yeah,
that was the first thing you said. I thought you said it was ruins, though.
I didn't specify what it was
Okay. So you say someone's been sending you out here, and now you're looking for what, goblins or something?
for. We're not exactly sure what they are. It could be goblins. There could be some sort of. There are some goblins. I've heard tell of some goblins that ride certain beasts, and it might be the beasts that are actually hunting. We are not exactly sure, but either way, regardless of that, I just happened to go by the main office in town the other day, and I just asked if you happen to be at one of the mines nearby, and they said, "Oh yeah, you're at this one." So I was like, "Okay."
Fair enough.
I do apologize. It does seem that seem to be having some trouble with the tunneling. So everything been going all right for the most part?
He kind of looks all of you over for a little bit, and then he says, "Something's happened. Maybe you can help us."
Whatever you came up with.
No, I have it in my notes here. I just gotta find it. Four days ago, there was an explosion, and the main tunnel into the mine collapsed. Clearly, with an explosion, that means somebody did it on purpose. Is it one of the rival mining companies? Clearly, it's not going to be the Neural company because they purchased from us anyway, so it doesn't help them. And it's probably not. What's the name of the other one? Too many notes in too many different places.
I don't remember what the other ones were.
No, I have them. I just got to bring up the.
Do I have any of them written down?
Bring up my article. No, you're good. That's still wrong. Sorry. It's clearly not Caltheon's ores because he's a specialist thing, so he's not even providing iron. But it could be Iron Hammer. Maybe. Problem I have now though is that I need to get into the mine. It's been 4 days, and clearly there are miners trapped in there, probably a good 40 or 50 in there. And they've been in there for 4 days. We've been trying to tunnel in through and he kind of gestures towards he goes into his drawer and he pulls out a scroll and he unrolls it on the table. And so then he shows you this. So what's on the scroll is basically a crude drawing of
the mines.
What you assume is the mine. And he says it seems to have collapsed, and he starts to kind of show you a spot. It seems to have collapsed right about here. And the first 2 days we tried to just get through it, but we realized pretty quickly that it's at least 30 or 40 feet of the mine that collapsed there. So that was just not going to happen. So we then decided we should try to get through here and here, try to tunnel through there and get through there as quickly as possible. The problem is solid rock, and these are places where the veins have started to run out. So we haven't been really digging in there or shoring the place up as well as we could have been if we were going to continue to dig further in. The one that you just heard me talk to the guy about, that was this one here. It clearly collapsed as they were trying to get into it. And I've probably lost yet another couple of men, some of my better men, because we were using the better miners to get through it. There's a few more guys. There's some guys here that are still digging through. If I had to guess, they're probably another 2 or 3 hours away from getting into the side. But given what we've done now, I'm probably going to have to tell them to be more careful about it. On top of all that, we haven't heard any tapping or anything from the miners for the last 2 days, so I'm not even sure they're still alive at this point. I still find it a little odd that you're here now, but maybe I can use you and your friends. You guys ever done any mining work?
Have any of us ever done any mining work?
Have any structural engineering or anything like that you know of?
Do we?
Checking.
No.
I don't know.
I mean,
Does
as an
Cole,
artificer, you've done some engineering. I mean, that's the whole point of being an artificer.
Not structural,
Yeah.
though, I don't
Well, but,
think.
I mean, you've done engineering. I mean, you know.
Sure.
certain
Your
things.
your brain huge.
My brain is huge. That's true.
Brain big. Mining.
Any
easy.
ideas about maybe how to blast open some spots without more methodically, so that we don't collapse everything around it?
Can I do an intelligence check?
You can try that. Ooh, that one looked like it was going to be great, and then it wasn't so great.
I guess not.
So I could mix some chemicals up and maybe a controlled smaller explosion to clear the area. Something that's more targeted than something larger.
Well, we just need to get through so we can get inside and see if anybody's still alive and what happened.
I could also make some things to do that.
Because I'm still concerned. Plus, I need somebody to look and see if they can find any evidence of any more evidence of sabotage. Clearly, we need to check this out. Like, I do think someone or something is trying to sabotage the mines, and if so, I need to let the higher ups know that.
I think we have noticed things. I'm very perceptive, and as part of the, being an alchemist and explorer,
Yeah,
I would definitely be willing to go down and look, and I'm sure my compatriots would.
Yeah, we can certainly try to take a
Silva,
look.
with your 11, it's still enough to know that you've heard tell of making small holes and using gunpowder to blast the holes to, in essence, drill a little bit faster. You just have to make sure that you don't hit, when you do that, you don't hit a crack in the wall, because that can take the whole thing down.
And as an alchemist, I'm assuming I could make some small explosives. I've got an alchemist kit.
Well, I would say give me another intelligence check. Or give me an intelligence check on your side. Yes, you could make some small explosives, but maybe you've got some other ideas.
Okay.
And this is more of an alchemist thing. So, you could use acid potentially.
Okay.
You could have somebody put some holes in there and then mix up a really nice, good spot of strong acid and try to put the acid through and see how much that would kind of melt the rock around it. It would take some time, but it might work.
And we can make a hole in to get more air in to pull everything out. So I'll suggest that. I mean, definitely.
Fair enough. All right. Well, let me get some of my men, and they'll take you in. Wait here, and he heads out. And you through the window you can see him walking over towards a couple of the men out there. You guys want to do anything in the meantime?
Did he mention pay for this, or is it just a nicety?
He hasn't yet.
Okay. Maybe his brother should ask.
Well, he's not in there right now.
Knowing him, we should leave such questions for later.
So he will take care of us later and won't cheat us and screw us.
You know, Andal didn't say that.
I didn't say
Yeah, that's why I'm
that.
asking.
I'm saying that further antagonizing him would probably result in getting you nothing. And probably just being thrown out. He seems already irritated.
Herbed.
So
Perturbed.
what can we expect inside, I guess is my question. If we get in, we are kind of risking our lives. Do we just want to get in and see the mine? Is there some benefit to us for that? And again, I'm being quiet and I won't say anything to someone around. I'm just asking the group.
Yeah.
John the player wants to do one thing, but John the greedy friar.
Let's go check out the mines.
I think that if we were to... I think that finding knowledge that rival iron companies are moving towards sabotaging each other to gain upper hands could lead to finding out of greater conspiracies that might that when unmasked might lead to greater financial reward.
There's that. Speaking of it, we're in his office, correct?
Yeah.
And is there a window, or can we see him when he's coming back?
Yeah, you saw him. He's already started on his way back with a couple of guys.
Okay. So I'm going to investigate real quick, kind of look over his desk or see if there's anything incredibly obvious, some type of, that he just left out in the excitement.
I
Paperwork.
mean, you're currently on top of the desk is this map. I mean, this scroll, this map of the mines.
Okay, I move the scroll and put it back.
I mean, you can try to move. You can move it. Give me an investigation roll. You don't have a lot of time.
Okay, never mind.
Yeah, you look around
I didn't have enough
quickly,
time.
but as you're starting to look through it, the door opens and he comes in. I mean, you tried, and yeah, it's just 7. You just don't have enough time to do it as he walks in.
Okay,
You just think about it too late. Is the answer I'll give you?
that's fine.
Is all.
And I rolled 2.
Yeah. Well, no. I'm using your role to explain why. Like you're
No,
like,
I know.
oh yeah, we should totally look like. Oh, and then he walks in as you start to do it. So you quickly stop.
Yeah.
He walks in and says, "Here we go. These 2 men will take you in. Tell them where you want to go, and then he hands you the map and he says, "Here's the map of the mine.
All right.
Give me a progress report in about an hour or so if you can." And hopefully maybe we can get broken through yet today so we can look at what's going on the other side. And the 2 guys look at you guys and gesture for you to follow them, and then they head towards the mine.
What's your initiative? Is it like proficiency?
It's your dexterity bonus.
It's just your dexterity bonus, Cat. No one has initiative proficiency unless they...
So I'm going to go ahead and cast shield on myself. I kind of pat I get a little some salve out from a bottle on my
Okay.
belt, and the
Roll
leather
your
and
shield?
clothing stiffens.
You're going to cast shield or mage armor?
Mage armor. Sorry, did I say shield? Mage
You
armor is what I
said
meant.
shield. All right, so
Okay, mage
do
armor.
your cast and... Yeah, no, that's fine. I just was... It's like shield only lasts
No,
for
you're
one
right.
round,
It's
so...
shield.
So why would you do that? That's all.
Yeah,
all
no,
right.
got it.
So you do that as you're walking towards the entrance. You guys start coming through to the entrance, and they take you into the entrance. And the entrance, the tunnel here is about 30 feet wide with this track down the middle of it. It's buttressed by wooden beams and things like that. And as you're kind of walking through there, both Artemis and Silva gave me an intelligence check. Technically, anybody can give me an intelligence check if they'd like, but those 2 have a better chance of really understanding what's going on.
That's the wrong check. Ignore that.
I want the advantage one.
All right, so Silva, as you're kind of walking through there, and even Artemis, you looking at the beams and things like that and the way they're set up, they're set up structurally pretty sound. Like it would take a bit to pull down whatever's going on, and even as you're going through the thing, even the way that the tunnel is made itself, that's going into this thing, is vaulted in such a way that, as you've seen on certain architecture and things like that, to help buttress it a bit, so that it's even more difficult for it to destroy. So as you're walking through, it's clearly this initial tunnel is clearly set up in such a way that it would be hard for it to collapse.
Okay.
And after a bit, you get to where this junction here is, and you see it turns off into two. There's two side tunnels, and then basically there's three tunnels, all about 20 feet wide, that go off from this chamber here. You can see this direction is definitely still very dusty. And as you get to this point, you realize that maybe it might be better to put like a cloth or something over your mouth, just because of the amount of dust that's in the air from whatever collapsed. And you can hear people not shouting, but talking down in that tunnel because it's echoing back down in this way. And hear them moving things around, probably rocks and stuff like that. Probably as they're trying to get whatever bodies and things that was mentioned earlier. This tunnel down here leads off in another direction as well. You can hear the telltale sign of mining down that tunnel. Axes and stuff hitting rocks, and pickaxes, I should say, and hammers and sledges hitting rock. But it's not a lot of it. It's intermittent. So it sounds more like there's only a few people doing it, as opposed to what you would expect a normal mine to sound like with, literally 50, 60, maybe even 100 people doing it. What do you guys want to do? Do you want to continue straight? You want to go down one of these two tunnels? What do you want to do? From where you're at, you can see up ahead that there is definitely a collapse. So if you want to go look at that or not, it's up to you.
Yeah, let's look at the collapse.
Yeah, let's take a look at it real quick,
Alright.
so that we can see.
All right, so you guys head up. It's about another 40 or 50 feet until you reach this point where you can see the tunnel. The tunnel has collapsed. Everybody give me an investigation check
Ooh,
as you look around.
that one's better. I rolled a 1.
Isn't the first roll the one that counts?
Yes.
Okay.
Like I said, don't worry. Like I said the last time we played, if you roll your
No,
dice,
no,
I'll pick the right one based on what we need to do. It's all good.
Right. I just don't know why it's highlighting the one behind. That's why I'm.
Because you rolled a 1 on the
Because you
second
rolled a
die.
one on the second one.
That's right. So,
That's why.
thank you.
So
Yeah,
disadvantage
if you
to pick
see
that
a
one.
red thing, that means you rolled a 1. If you see a green thing, that means you rolled a 20. That's all it means.
Okay.
All right, so let's see here.
I rolled a 1.
Wow. All right, so Morgoth, Andal, Shelly, you
Life sucks. I don't
you're
know what's
looking
happening.
through it. You're picking up rocks every now and then, and it's a rock pile.
There's a reason I don't work for him,
Yeah,
and I do my own
It's a
thing.
rock pile. It's hard to understand, what you're really looking for. You're not sure what you're supposed to be looking for. Artemis and Silva, as you're kind of looking through there, you're looking at the rocks and stuff like that. You can see that definitely when Callum mentioned 4 days ago, you can see that there's clearly this is all settled. You remember looking down the other tunnel where the thing had just collapsed, lots and lots of dust, very hazy. Not so much here. Easily, like any haze you're seeing is coming from the direction of where the tunnel splits off. So clearly this is settled a while. You can also tell as you're looking through here, Artemis, you find some rock as you're kind of pushing some off over. You find some rock with telltale signs of scorch marks.
So obviously a blast.
Obviously a blast of some sort. That's about the extent of what you're seeing. Based on, like I said, this thing is this tunnel is about 20 feet wide, maybe about 10 feet tall. The amount of, both of you, Silva and Artemis, think that the amount of gunpowder it would take to blow something to make this thing collapse, not as much as the main tunnel where you first came in, but still a significant amount. So if this was an explosion, like some kind of black powder explosion or something like that, which you found evidence that suggests it might be Artemis, it would take a decent amount for it to do it. So you're not sure how somebody might have smuggled that in, or a single person, or even 2 or 3 people might have smuggled that in. Just because to do this, they'd have to hit several points to make it happen. So that's the most of what you figure out from your investigation. The two guards have been standing back there and just watching you do what they're doing, what you're doing.
Let me look at my skills. I actually don't have Arcana. That sucks. So mystical knowledge. Are there any spells or anything that would also do this? I know it's obvious. I'm just asking. Obviously, not a firebolt because it would be huge. I do have firebolt as a spell, so I would remember if it was something like that.
You know, if you could amplify your firebolt enough, yeah, maybe that could do it. But you're talking a lot.
So there again,
So in that case, it'd have to be either a really, really, really adept artificer, or maybe a wizard or sorcerer of no small power. If it was a single person,
but why would they risk getting caught too?
exactly. Why would they risk getting caught? Like the artificer, potentially, but the wizard or sorcerer, it seems unlikely. The one of the guards kind of comes up and says, "Anything we can help you with here? I mean, do you want us to do anything?"
Have they ever have we? So we've all been talking about what the other two found, right?
As far as I know, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna ask the guard if he knows if any shipment has come in of like extra blasting materials recently, like within the last week. If there was a shipment that came in,
Let me see here. Let me give him an intelligence.
because that seems to be the most likely way that they would get that much Aethyr.
Well, one guy, he's like, you know, we've only been bringing in and out ore. All the explosives we have, we used early on to blast out the tunnel back there, and these are main initial tunnels. We haven't been blasting tunnels for a while, just because it doesn't make sense. Most of the ore is right around us. Blasting runs the risk of bringing the place down. Hey, Igneo, do you know of anything that's been in lately? He kind of says to the other guy behind him.
His name is Aethyr.
Yeah, Igneo. It's very Italian.
True.
Yep. That means he's for the mob. Let's stereotype.
That's stereotype.
I was just thinking it's ironic that it sounds like Ignite.
No. I brought up random name generator, and Igino came up, so I figured I'd call him Igneo. Twist a few letters around. Igneo says, not that I know of. I mean, the only recent stuff we've had is there's been an influx of hiring to try to get more of the ore out from down below. It's the first time you've heard of it down below, by the way. I will just highlight that because no one's mentioned it down below or anything like that.
So,
And they've also been bringing in new hiring as well.
Mm-hmm.
Does this tunnel go down below? Is this how you would keep going? Does it go down further, or
Are you
is there
asking
an
them?
elevator?
Are you asking them?
Yeah, I'm asking
Okay,
him.
sorry. Just making sure, John. That's all.
No, that's fine.
Igneo basically says, "Oh yeah, just beyond this is where and that's when the other guy gives him a look and says, nope, this is all we got."
There's
Okay,
definitely something in that box I can see on that
Yeah, I was
map.
gonna say. I bet that's an elevator of some type.
elevator.
I mean,
down
you
some other
definitely
line.
see that box on the map. It is there.
Yeah.
Just letting you know that.
It's just interesting that they didn't want to say anything. Insight, is there?
You can give me an insight for
I don't have anything bonus here on that. Oh, roll well though.
Yeah, I mean, Igneo clearly pretty outgoing or pretty open. So it's very clear he was going to try to tell you something about a down below, or an elevator or something. Whereas the other guy whose name you haven't gotten yet is definitely trying to hide something.
I mean, there's no. If we're gonna blow this up, I don't want to like open something and there's a cabin underneath us and it kills everyone. If we get this open, I mean, it'll help. So anything you can tell us, we're here to help. And I'll do persuasion.
Okay, go for it. Can I find a name for him?
In the DM's guide, this guy knows nothing.
This guy knows nothing. No, I'm just trying to. I want to give him a name before I. Igneo kind of comes up and taps the guy on the shoulder and says, "Henry, we just need to tell him. I mean, there's nothing. What? If they get through, we're gonna know. They're gonna know anyway." And the other guy kind of looks at you and says, "Yeah, but tell him said that just give them only the things they need to know. This is you're just barely overhearing this. I mean, they're whispering it, but you can hear enough of it to get the gist of what's going on." Ignio's like, yeah, but I mean, just the second level of the mine. There's nothing special about that. And
Huh.
and you can see Henry like, yeah, all right. He says, yeah, no, there's an elevator on the other side. It's just it leads down to a second level, but it's like the elevator goes like about 60 feet down before the second level. So I mean, it would
So we
take
got
a
them
lot.
distant.
It would take a lot
Okay.
to blow it up and collapse that level from up here.
Okay. Okay, thank you. So I'm gonna start looking for where we should places
For places for what? Sorry.
to start tunneling through with acid and firebolt and my what I can to make an air hole, preferably near the top.
Okay, so based on remember what he was saying before is that when he was talking to you earlier, it's collapsed about here, and they tried to open up a separate tunnel here, which would be somewhat close, and they're trying to do another one here. Like he was saying, they originally tried to get through here, and it just was too much. And in fact, you can actually see where they tried to excavate some of the stuff. That's actually the reason why you could find some of the rock with blast marks on it, because normally you wouldn't have been able to feed that. It should be more in the center of the
Okay,
collapse.
gotcha. So they actually
So you
tried
can
that
see
already.
they've excavated some of it. Just at a certain point, they just like, this is going to take too long. It's just faster for us to go through. We're in these
One of
closer
the
spots.
fingers.
So you know that this is where they just. He was just showing you this is where the one they were trying to do collapsed. There's another one happening over here. You're not sure how far it is through, but you can go look.
Yeah, let's go look at the other one then. If this one looks, so I'm yeah, we can do that.
Okay. So
As we're walking over there, I want to ask because he said they also were bringing in new hires.
Mhm.
Ignio did.
Yep.
I'm gonna ask them as we're walking over to the other tunnel if any of the new hires seemed odd. Like they weren't, they
Ignio's
like
like,
obviously they're.
well, I mean,
new,
we always
but-
we always gotta. There's a certain amount. He kind of looks a little uncomfortable. He says, "There's a certain amount of that's what I'm looking for. There's a certain amount of people we lose, and so we have to rehire for them no matter what. But recently, there's about I don't know over the last week or two." We've had more than normal just because of a vein in the lower level that was discovered. That's pretty
extensive.
pretty extensive and pretty rich. So I think they're just trying to get it out as quickly as possible. Ignio kind of drops down a little bit and says, "I'm a little concerned that because of that, they're trying to do it so fast. They're why stuff is collapsing down there, but shh, don't let anybody know that." And then he says, "But I mean, nothing. I mean, they look like miners. I mean, typical mining sort. Let's see here. Do a roll for him to see if." Yeah, he says they're just like miners. I haven't noticed anybody that's any different than anybody else.
Yeah, definitely has this guy. God bless.
So
Sucks.
you guys come out around here and head down this, and as you're coming towards this first tunnel here on the right side, as you're walking down, you can hear the sounds of hammering and that sort of stuff. Typical mining stuff get louder and louder, and as you make the turn and look down here, you can see sort of oil lamps and things like that kind of held up, kind of lighting the way, and you can definitely hear the work of probably maybe 3 or 4 people digging down there. Getting down there, you find that this entire drawing is potentially not to scale or potentially not 100% accurate.
Right.
But based on what you know and what you've been seeing, you can see that they've probably cut through maybe 10, 15 feet through the rock already. From where, because you can see the newer portion of the hewn out portion, and it's very clear where the sort of the vein here potentially stopped, which is why they stopped mining here, and where they're just hewing through solid rock at this point. There's a little bit of iron ore in some of the stuff that they've been pulling through, but not enough to make it worth the effort that they're doing right now. So that's probably why they stopped, but they're trying to get into the mine this way. So what do you guys want to do?
So yeah, I'm gonna look at it. thinking of where we could at first make a hole all the way through, if possible.
I mean, based on
like-
this map, I mean, if you can just get as straight as possible, you can get into the central chamber here. Looking at the wall, however, they're just whacking at it, trying to make a. From what it looks like, so when you come upon the miners, there's 4 of them. One human who's maybe about 5'6" or something like that. 2 dwarves and a halfling, and basically what they're doing is you can see that the tunnel is even further in where the halfling is digging out stuff. And as he gets to a certain point, then the dwarves start hammering into it. And so there's sort of a gradual coming down of this tunnel. And then the human is coming in last, trying to make it a bit larger so that other people, so that you can in essence almost walk all the way through it. So that portion of it's much further back than where the halfling is. Like the halfling is another good 5 feet further in, compared to where you guys get to, where the human is at.
Right.
So in theory, you could have all of them get out of the hole. You could crawl into there and try to put some smaller holes in there to try to do some stuff. Yes.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking. So I need to set up some things to make some strong acid that will eat through dirt. Let's see. Who is our Brian? What's your character's name? Is you Andal? Who's the Artificer?
I'm the
Silva.
Artificer, Silva. I was gonna say I'll go help Artemis set up and things like that.
Henry says, "All right, well, let's bring you back here," and he takes you back into this back into here where you can set some stuff up. There's a bit more room and stuff like that. That's why he takes you back.
So Sylvia, you do have some type of, if I make a strong acid, some type of gun that could pressurize it. So it can be high pressure acid that goes, further in. So it actually kind of a drill type thing. So then we could go from there.
So 2 things while you're doing that. While you're talking about that and setting up, you notice that you can hear more than see a group of people come in and continue past the tunnel. It doesn't sound like they go into the other one. It sounds like they head to the other spot, down the main tunnel.
Is anybody with us? Like any of our...
Henry is there. Igneo is with the other 2, or the other people.
Okay.
The second thing is that why don't you guys, Silva, give me an intelligence check or an Arcana check, either one.
Silva or both of us?
Silva in this case.
Okay.
Ooh, Silva. You remember 2 things. 1, the bolter.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
2, those two pellets there's 2 pellets left of that green one with the paper on it. You know those are acid pellets. So those 2 things together, along with some of your own engineering prowess, you think maybe here's your thought on this. You think if you take one of the bolters, put one of the acid pellets in it, then take the strong acid that Artemis is talking about and put it in the barrel and shoot it as quickly as possible thereafter, because you don't want the acid to totally get rid of all the crystal. Maybe that would work in some fashion to, in essence, give it super pressurize it.
Cool. You want to try that?
Yeah, if you want to explain it, definitely. Whatever. You're the one who knows the tools. I just make the acid.
Yeah. I will pull out one of the bolters I have, because I'm pretty sure I have 2.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll grab one of those acid pelts as well.
Well, Andal has those.
Andal has the acid pelt? Yeah, I didn't remember which ones I had.
I thought you only had one. I thought we gave one to the man. The boy.
No, you gave one. I didn't give any of my stuff to him.
Well, you had 3 of them originally. You
We had
used
4.
one. Okay, well,
We had,
No, I'm talking about bolters. He said he had 2.
yeah, he has 2.
Yeah, I have 2 because we had
Morgoth
4
gave his away.
bolters.
Oh, right. All right. Well, I'll give him one of the.
I'll go. Yeah,
I'll give him one of the acid pellets. So I'll mark it that we only have 1 left.
because aren't you?
Okay. What's your
Yeah.
character's
So
name? It's not on the little thing.
I give him one of the acid pellets.
I say
We have 1
I
left.
say
Not on the player.
you You go ahead and make the acid. I'm going to go grab
On the little player to the left.
a piece of ammunition I need from
No big
Andal.
deal.
Okay.
And then I think we might be able to get this to work just fine.
I don't know that. I'm trying to find
So yeah, I'll go grab one of the pellets from
Okay.
him.
All right. So,
So
you head over and talk to Andal. And
I
get a
give him the
pellet.
thing.
But
It's fine.
yeah.
John, what's up?
So while he does that, perhaps I'll mention someone you might need to get some stuff. I'll ask
Henry and
chat
Iggy.
character
Shelgar.
Shelgar, thank you. Shelgar, I'll kind of motion her over and whisper that I need this, but what I'm really saying is maybe someone should watch the tunnels in case they try to do something else, sabotage that other tunnel, while keep an eye out to make sure no one else, those other two people aren't doing any mischief that just went past, or they don't stick
No,
us
it was
in
like
here.
it was like about half a dozen.
Oh, it's half a dozen. Well,
Yeah,
still,
it was a decent number of people.
maybe so she could keep an eye out on it.
Yeah, no,
Make
that's
sure
fine.
no one-
I was just clarifying that it was more than two. It was like
Okay, well,
half
yeah,
a dozen or so.
but yeah, just keep an eye on it, or whoever else. I just didn't want to make it obvious that I was saying, I don't trust these guys.
Okay.
To Henry.
Why
Okay.
don't you trust?
Mm.
Okay.
You look trustable. And then I tell someone else, hey, follow her. She doesn't know. I'm not trustworthy.
Remember, you just met her the day before.
I know.
Granted, you met these guys the day before too, so.
But she looks like a PC, so, she got that PC thing.
I wouldn't. Whatever you want
It's
to
like
do.
most groups. In all reality, most groups would never form because they do so many mistrustful things, but because they're PCs, they end up working together.
Yeah. Anyway, okay. What do you guys? Who's doing what now?
So I'm mixing the acid.
Okay, so you're doing some acid. Do an alchemist roll.
Right.
Mostly just to make sure it doesn't blow up in your face.
Would that be an intelligence with
so
double my proficiency?
well? So it's basically you have alchemist tools. So
I do.
roll your alchemist tools roll. So if you're proficient in that, then it's going to be intelligence plus proficiencies. Basically, it's not double proficiency, just single.
Let's see what this does.
You got a
Okay,
10.
so
10 is
yeah,
good
I
enough.
guess.
It says that you're not proficient. Are you proficient or not?
How can you
I mean, there's not an alchemist skill.
No. Are you proficient in alchemist supplies?
Oh yeah.
All right. So inside of your character sheet, make sure you select that thing and say that you're proficient in it.
Okay.
roll proficiency?
So in your inventory, you'll have alchemist tools or something like that, alchemist supplies.
Yeah, that's why I just
If
clicked
you
on this.
modify that and go to details, you can say you're proficient in it.
Okay.
Yeah, and your tool proficiencies do say that. It doesn't automatically do it. So your roll is going to be +2 because you're proficient. So you got a 12. It doesn't blow up in your face. You make your acid.
Excellent.
Even the 10 would have been fine. It just was making sure you didn't do something stupid. So you've got your acid together. What do you want to do next? Hold on. While you're doing that, who's doing what? Is there anybody else doing something? I don't know
No,
why
I'm waiting on
Sealgair
him.
did alchemist supplies.
Well, I was just checking to see if I could do it too.
I'm waiting on Artemis to finish his stuff.
No, you're waiting on
So we
Artemis.
can load up.
Shelly, what are you doing? Morgoth, what are you doing? Andal, what are you doing?
Going to watch the back, keeping guard while he's kind of making.
So you kind of saunter your way down to where this tunnel comes off?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just,
You're getting down there, you notice that there's there's several people up here where you guys were just looking. They're starting to try to dig through there again. So but they're going slowly. So it seems likely that someone has decided that at the same well since that one collapsed, and who knows what's going to happen with the other side, they really need to continue trying to get through the main thing. And at some point, they're going to have to clear the main way anyway, because that's how they get stuff out. So
it doesn't look like any sketchy stuff is going on.
no, it just looks like people are, pulling up rocks. You see that kind of as you're watching, a mine cart comes down the rail, and you can see inside of it they got timber and stuff like that. So they're probably going to pull that down there, and it goes past you, and they pull down to try to start shoring up the thing as they pull out the rocks.
Nope.
Andal and Morgoth.
I am waiting to begin the excavation of this tunnel.
Okay. Morgoth, same thing.
You're yes.
Okay.
Sure.
All right. So Artemis, you get done with your acid. You kind of bring it over
As far as I know, I mean, I haven't been able to modify the roll yet, but I'm done with it. So
no.
I go to edit item, and it says I'm proficient, but it's not in the roll.
That's because I edited it.
Oh, okay.
So try rolling it again just to make sure. Well, you're still fine from the first one, but just roll it one more time. Yeah, it's showing proficiency.
You look at
That's
that.
much better.
And so it's showing a +2.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so it's all good. So it's all set up correctly.
So you did that.
Yeah, I did it. When I was talking about it, I was like, I should probably just
Okay.
check to make sure you can even actually do it. Because in weapons, it's just a checkbox. I didn't know what it was in tools. But
Okay.
so when
That's
I got there, I was like, oh, there's a drop down. So I just did it while I was there. Sorry about that.
No, that's fine. I'm just glad it makes sense.
Yeah. All right. So you get your acid and take it to Silva. Silva, he's got basically a test tube size of it. You can hear it sizzle. Like it seems to be pretty potent. So
All right.
you figure. So you're not sure. Give me. Well, first of all, tell me how you think you might want to try to use it.
So you said that I had thought that putting the acid in the barrel and then shooting quickly would pressurize it.
Yep.
So if we're trying to use it by pressurizing into those little holes like a drill.
I'll also say, Artemis, because you only got a 12. You were only able to make one really good potent vial of it. If you'd gotten a higher thing, you would have been able to make. Okay. So yeah. So how do you want to try to use it?
You can have a message that comes up in the roll.
Well, first, can I do like an intelligence check or something like that to figure out the best kind of? Because if this is really the only vial, we only got like one shot at it.
Okay. Yeah. Go
Can
ahead.
I do an intelligence check to figure out what's the best spot to use it in?
Sure.
To be most effective.
Yeah.
Oh.
You think if you just shoot it, it'll be fine wherever you shoot it.
Okay.
Can I make an intelligence check as well? Because I would think to stay away from to go to a deeper part, to stay away from the cracks as much as I can. I'll ask the diggers. What is a good
you guys
place?
come up into the edge and start, and they've been digging the whole time. How do you want to get their attention? Or
I'll
Hey,
tap.
yo.
okay. One of the dwarves looks up and he says, "What do you want? We're busy here. Got to get some friends out."
So we're here to help.
Yeah.
And we're going to try to punch the hole through to them using acid. So is there a better point to punch it into that will not weaken the whole structure, but will be able to expand upon and not bring things down?
Do you think we wouldn't have used acid if we thought it would have worked?
Well, this is
To be fair,
extra.
he's a miner. Just
Right. No, I'm not saying that. I'm an alchemist, so I have some acids that you guys don't have.
well, I mean, where we're trying to go through, there's a small crack, but it's kind of stopped at the point back. He points to a spot where they're starting to hack away at. You can see a crack through the thing that just sort of stops there. So that's probably the fissure they were following for the iron vein, and it has now ended. So as far as you can tell, there's no, or based on what he's saying, it sort of implies that there's no more cracks there.
Okay, so we should go there then. Is that what he's saying?
Well, if you go beyond there and fire beyond there is what he's saying.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. All right. Let's give it a shot.
Silva,
Yeah.
and I'll back away. And I don't have to. I mean, it won't cause. Does this acid cause fumes or anything that I should tell
You're not
Silva
sure.
about? Or
You're not. the acid itself is basically like a solvent, but you're not sure what it's going to do 100% to the rock. Like, it depends on what the rock is. If the rock is,
Acid spray.
has about a bunch of carbon, or a bunch of is a like a sandstone or something like that, then that's going to turn into a a CO2 or an acid kind of gas by itself. So
yeah, my best guess. Can I do an intelligence roll to see?
I mean, the rock looks like, it's iron. You're getting iron out of it, so this rock is probably most likely going to be volcanic of origin.
Okay. Well, I'll just back out of the hole and mention that
All right. Okay. So you do that, Silva. What are you doing? You're gonna go try to fire it in there.
Yeah.
All right. So how do you want to do this?
I was wondering if there was like a way, if there was like a, because I know that it's sizzling in that vial.
Mm-hmm.
If there was a way that I could kind of, like I had like a sort of pouch or something, or a vial of like a weaker kind of substance, so that I could give myself a little bit more time. So like I put it in that, and I put that in a
Give me
barrel,
another intelligence check.
and it gives some time to dissolve in the barrel.
Yep.
Would that
No, I
do
understand.
that?
Give me another intelligence check.
Cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
You realize as you're kind of walking in there trying to figure out how you give yourself more time, the diameter of the test of the little tube vial will actually just fit in the barrel.
Cool. That's what I was hoping.
So you kind of put it in there and hold the gun so it's pointed up so it doesn't fall out. But
Yeah.
so you're only gonna have a little bit of time to turn and fire. But
Yeah.
that may be enough. All right. So you get in there, you get down as close as you can in there. You tell the halfling to leave.
Hey
Yeah.
guys, might as well clear the area. Don't exactly know how
They
well
kind of
this is
look up
gonna
and
go.
like, who are you? What do you mean clear the area? That's when Igneo says, they're kind of helping us out, so just do as they say for a moment. I mean, what's the worst that can happen? You might have to dig a little more.
Yeah, I'll bring the whole thing down.
So they kind of like, all right, I could use a break anyway and get some water. So they kind of back out. And then you ready to fire?
Actually,
Yeah, let's do it.
hang on just a second.
All right, I guess let's not do it.
Hang on just a second. I have light, so let me put it on like a pole, and can we actually see the whole way down the crack?
Well, I mean, there's some oil lamps that are illuminating the area. I mean, you can't fully see into the tunnel. I mean, well, the halfling had a small little candle on his head, so he could see there, but now he can't. I mean, once he leaves, it's dark in there.
But like the light, if you have light, you
I would
can
like put a light on one of the poles or and kind of look in the crack to see where the best place for him to shoot is.
Well, I mean, remember, there's no crack here. This guy's been digging a tunnel, a halfling-sized tunnel.
Oh, okay. Then never mind.
I mean, so think of it as somebody's making a tunnel, but it's halfling-sized.
Okay.
I mean, you can't, Silva, you could get in there and crawl through it. Basically, it's that size in theory.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I don't know if you want to be that close to where this thing fires.
Yeah, no, let's not do that.
All right. So, you ready to fire this thing?
Yep.
All right. You drop down, you pull the trigger, and aim it right as you pull the trigger. And you feel the gun, or the bolter, you feel it shudder in your hand, and you hear a and you see like this globule kind of ball-like shape of acid come out at the same time as you see the end of it just explode. Not the globule, but the end of the bolter explode.
Yeah, there goes that bolter.
The bolter is no longer going to be useful unless you figure out a way to repair it.
Yeah.
B, though, however, you see this globule streak into the thing, and as it's streaking, something you notice about it is that like there's this greenish energy that's just all around it, permeating through it, and what was once a small vial or test tube of this thing is now basically about like this. So whatever it did enhanced all this stuff, and it hits that thing and explodes like a fireball. Roll 10d6.
Okay.
Nice shot.
Or hold on, what's a fireball normally? I think it's
I think
don't
it's
know.
86, isn't it?
I think it's 8d6. So roll 8d6. It's a regular fireball,
86.
but it's an acid ball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. That wasn't a great roll, but
That wasn't a great roll.
Yeah, 86.
But,
yeah, there's a lot of twos there.
Yeah, not a great roll. Your average should be 28, so you're not too far below average. So you see that thing hit and coat and kind of expand into the thing, and then you watch as initially just part of the whole thing, just kind of part of that spot just seems to vaporize. And then about maybe 10, 15 seconds later, roll 46.
Okay. Oops. There we go.
Oh, no, I got set up.
Well,
What is it with you with all the twos?
I don't know. I don't know what I can.
You see it a few seconds later. You see it just eat through even more of the stuff, and after about a minute, you get what's the word I'm looking for? You feel like a, and you can smell a different smell of the air, and you can now sort of. It's hard to tell because you don't have any light, but there's a dark spot, even darker spot, where that stuff is. As the acid was sort of internally glowing from the energy, so as it slowly that energy faded away, it was eating through, and then it just seemed to, as the last of it seemed to fade away, you could see just like a dark spot, and then the energy fades. That's where you're at. What are you guys doing?
Can I look in that dark spot, do perception, investigation, or something like that? See if like we made it all the way through.
You have dark vision, right?
Yeah.
Well, with dark vision, you can see that you can see the grays and stuff. You can see that there's a hole, maybe about the size of a watermelon. There's a black spot. Like you can see, like it goes black, meaning that in your dark vision, it's either means that you can't see that far, or that you're seeing something super cold. It seems unlikely it's the first one or the second one.
Yeah. Okay.
So in your estimation, you've probably punched through to the other side.
Well, boys,
but about the size of a watermelon.
We made some progress. I punched a about watermelon-sized hole in through the other side.
And looking at the bolter, you can see the barrel is just like, like blunderbussed apart. Like it had a big, huge obstruction in it that just bent the barrel up, and you can see the crystals inside are pretty much just dust as you kind of look it down, and they just kind of fall onto the floor.
Could I use mending on it to try and fix it?
No.
No, too far gone for that one.
It's like trying to use mending on a wand of magic missiles. You can't do it. It's not a mundane object.
Wow. Right. Well, sorry about your tool there. Maybe you could just do a new barrel?
Well, they're not exactly standard, but we'll figure something out. I'll put that.
He has a second one anyway.
I have a spare, but still not great to blow one up.
I'm sure eventually Castor will know how to fix it. It's fine.
I would also, Brian, note down that if you were to try to do, in essence, a tinkering roll or a tinkering check in the future, once you know something like Fireball or something of that nature, that you will have advantage on trying to do a tinker roll to make, in essence, a bolter version of that. Once you learn more about Aether Tech and stuff like that. But note that down. Because in essence, you've failure is part inspiration, part perspiration. So invention is that too. So in this sense, at this point in time, you have a bit of you've got a bit of an insight of how some of this stuff might actually work.
Yeah, because I did accidentally make an acid fireball, so I can probably figure out how to do it on purpose next time.
Yeah. So the halfling gets in there and he's like, "Hey, yeah, there's definitely a hole in here. I can't quite get through, but give me about half an hour and I can probably widen it enough for at least me to get through and maybe some of you to crawl through it." And he starts
I want to look down. Could we actually see the way through? I'm going to take a rock and cast light on it. I'll put some oil.
I was going to say, you can't see on the other side because it's dark.
Yeah, so I was going to use some oil, and I'll throw the rock into the hole, or ask the halfling to do it, I guess, to see.
So you
And-
kind of push the rock through into the hole, and it's only it's a decent sized rock for about I don't know for maybe a couple minutes because it's just going to burn the oil away, and then that's the end of it. You can see that definitely it is. You can see wooden timber and things like that. You can see, in essence, the elevator is being held up by a bunch of wooden contraptions and some pulleys and stuff, and the elevator is there. You can also see. Actually, give me a perception check to see if you can notice
Okay.
anything else. Sorry, those are
And
the
it's the
obvious
light-
things.
It's the light cantrip, by the way, not a.
Oh, I thought you were
oil.
doing a.
No. I just did it because I'm an alchemist, so it makes.
Okay, that's fine. I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah. So perception, is that what you said?
Yeah, give me a perception roll as you're kind of looking around through there because it's not a really big like think of it as you're looking through a porthole kind of thing because you don't have a huge
Yeah.
hole.
These rolls suck.
Cat, please stop sending
You're
the
pretty good.
blood hunter to the thing.
Sorry.
We need to know what a blood hunter is. Okay, so I rolled a 7, which means
So yeah, you saw what I told you. You saw you see some of the track. You see the elevator. So clearly, it's that room that's beyond.
okay. Holler down. Everyone all right in there?
You hear nothing other than maybe
Okay.
a slight echo of your own voice.
All right, so I'll move away and I'll get out of your way, boys.
Okay.
Oh, you
so
now.
over the next half an hour, you hear that like this guy's double his efforts. He's like really going as fast as he can. And at a certain point, he shouts back, "All right, I'm through. I think I got a big enough one for most of you guys to get through. Let me know if you get stuck or anything. We'll try to pull you out, and I'll make it bigger. Who wants to go in first?" And then he's like, "Hey!" And then you hear him go, "Get in here, quick, quick, quick!"
All right, I'll go first.
I think
Alright.
there's corpses,
Well,
probably.
maybe.
All right, so Morgoth, you're gonna try to go through first.
Uh huh.
Give me a athletics check to climb through here. It's pretty narrow.
Morgoth is big boy.
10 is good enough. You shimmy your way through, and for a moment you get stuck because it's like really narrow. And there's a slight pebble that's kind of between your armor and the top, and it just making it so you can't quite move through. But then somebody removes the pebble. Somebody uses a mage hand or something. Who knows?
Yeah, I'll do that.
And
Sorry.
you're able to push yourself all the way through, and you come out inside of a chamber that's maybe about 30 feet high in the center. It kind of slopes up to that. It's probably about 50 feet across in its widest portion. There's a rather large square. Well, there's a hole in the center with a square with a scaffolding that leads up and down it, with an elevator over top of it. On the elevator is sitting up at the top. On the elevator is a mining cart on a track, and clearly that track is set up to go out on this thing right here so that it can be sent out. But there's a cart there. Looking around, you can also see the halfling has run over and is like checking what looks to be a body. And as you look around, you see there's easily a dozen bodies in this room. Miners all lying on the ground on the floor. Who wants to go in next?
Stuff.
I'll go in next. I'm probably thinner and smaller than most.
Still an athletics check, just to make sure.
Oh yeah.
The halfling can only make it. He's a halfling. He's like, I can get out this. This is good enough.
And I'm not great with athletics. Woohoo!
Good enough though. You pull yourself through eventually and get out, and again you see the same thing. You can see there's a whole bunch of bodies, a whole bunch of people lying on the ground in various poses, various states of like it looks like they fell to the ground kind of state. Who else? Over the course of the next 10 to 15 minutes, the rest of you make it through.
Me.
I'm not going to have you do more and more
I
things.
made it.
But Morgoth and Artemis, what are you guys doing as they're pulling through?
I'll do medicine checks. I'm gonna stay close to the ground in case it's a gas thing.
All right,
I'll
so
mention
you come to
it
the
was
nearest body and do a medicine check. So give me a roll real quick.
I 13.
Yeah, so looking over, the guy's dead. He's clearly
Okay.
dead. Where's my notes? Here's what you find. A couple things. this guy looks like he might have been like he fell, and as you're looking him over, he's clearly dead, and the lower half of his left leg is missing, and where his knee would have been, there's sort of just like a dissolved fleshy bit.
Hmm. Ugh.
Morgoth, as you go to a different guy, you can see that this one seems to have a well. Give me an investigation check on him.
Okay, give me a second. Where's that? There it is. That's an 18.
Keep forgetting to take my character off.
That guy said when you're looking him over, clearly something hit him because he's got sort of not a gash, but sort of a bruising on the side of his face. But that's on one side. On the other side, his face looks like it's been melted by acid.
Whoa.
Wonderful.
So I'm gonna investigate too whenever, but other people can do stuff first. I'm doing medicine first to see if anybody's alive, and I'll investigate afterwards.
Okay, so everybody finally gets in through. Over the course of about 30 minutes or so to an hour, as you look through this particular chamber in particular, you can see what looks like a bunch of you kind of start to come up with sort of a story of what's happened here. A bunch of people came up from below from the elevator because you can see there are some of the people are falling close to the thing, others are further away, some are down the tunnel. All of them seem to have either been hit in some fashion and have some kind, maybe not hit always, but have some kind of part of their body dissolved, as if by acid or something else. Because based on what you're seeing, it's not any kind of acid you've ever seen or heard of. So that's basically just this particular chamber here.
Okay, they're all dead, I assume.
They're all dead. 12 over the course of looking through this whole thing, you find about 20 miners.
Ask the dwarves to keep widening the hole, so if we need to get out quick, we can.
Okay, they're like, all right, we'll keep going. Now that you got us this far, it should go a little faster.
Can we check down the cave a little bit, like down the.
Does anyone know what? Actually, I'll ask the halfling. Are there any type of monsters, slimes, or anything that you've ever run into that?
No,
anyone
not
here
that I know of,
survived?
but I've mostly been up here. I don't know what's down below, but not that I know of. We would think we've been mining down there for quite a while. You'd think somebody would have mentioned it.
Well, I mean, it attacked them up here, right? Because they actually got off the. They're not all on the elevator,
Well, some
right?
people are on the elevator. Some of the dead people are on the elevator.
But some of them are spread out.
Some of them are spread out.
Did they, based on blood trails and stuff, did they seem to walk out?
That's the interesting part. There is no blood trail. It's like whatever dissolved it just took everything with it.
Do they look surprised, or is it more just like?
It's hard to say. Many of them are dead, so it's
Yeah, I know.
hard to say.
I just didn't know if they've got their. I probably can't tell if their weapons or picks or stuff in a defensive.
No, like all of them were running, like they were terrified.
Okay.
Like no one seems to be like any. You do find some of their mining equipment with them in a few places, but it's usually fallen on the ground next to them, or like on a belt or something like that. And not everyone has their mining equipment, so some of them may have left it down below when
They were running.
Mm-hmm.
Does anyone have tracking or any type of
Survival.
survival for our group?
I got it. Not great, but I got it.
I
Can you
got
see if it followed them up here, or if there are any? Oh wow.
Yeah, Morgoth, you're looking around. There's no most of the tracks you find, or most of what you see, are tracks from the miners themselves. There is one odd thing though. There is something that kind of looks like, I don't know, just indentations, like a whole bunch of indentations in the floor, in the dust. Not really in the floor. It's not like it made like it made the rock lower or anything like that. It's just an odd. It clearly, you see this like clearly only in a couple spots where it clearly followed one of these these miners before it got to them. And it's like, I don't know, it's almost as if like you had your forearm or something like that. You were doing your forearm in the ground as you were walking through something. It's just bizarre looking.
Okay.
It's not anything you've ever seen before, but it is. It's enough of like a track that you're like, this seems like something deliberately made this.
Hmm.
So when
We
he,
want
when
to. Do we want to check down the mine, like the cave lids that they've made with where they were mining the ore? Maybe maybe there's things down there.
In on this level or the next level?
No, of this level, like
Yeah,
this
you
level.
guys
We
can
see
do
on
whatever
this
you want.
map.
Yep.
Because we could see if
And-
there's people there. Maybe somebody escaped and they're hiding over there because they're scared.
Possible.
and do the bodies? Where do the bodies stop? Do they seem to go further
So,
away?
like I said, there's about 20 here. They're kind of there's only a few still on the actual elevator. There's probably the bulk of them are about maybe 10 to 15 feet from the elevator, and then then maybe about a third of them are further than that. Some are down. Some have started running down this tunnel. Some have started running down this tunnel. The interesting part is that you can sort of paint a picture in the sense that whatever killed these guys killed a bunch of them right around here, then killed the ones that tried to go this way, then killed the ones that tried to go this way because these guys got further, and lastly went after the ones that went this way because most of the bodies that are up here are up against where the collapse is.
but it doesn't seem to be here as far. I'm going to
We
think
currently don't
and
see
roll my.
anything here. No.
I'm going to do a history check. Do I know of any monsters or any legends of things underground that would slimes or some type of beast?
The mimic.
Sure.
Mole
Give me
people.
a knowledge. Knowledge check.
Can it be history or is it just a regular knowledge?
Yeah, just knowledge. It's fine.
I mean, I don't really have a KS, do I? No. I guess just in straight intelligence.
Yep.
Are you?
I have history,
intellectual?
but crap.
Yeah.
You've heard
Even
I
about
was
it
sleeping
even if
that
it
day.
was history, it wouldn't help you so much.
Yeah, no.
Can I attempt to? Think
No, this one's a mystery to you as well, Artemis. I mean, it's odd. It's very odd. Yes, you can do the same thing. I will give you advantage because of your thing. Oh, there you go.
Job.
Because of your dungeon thing, whatever it is, I can't remember.
Yeah, I'm a dungeoneer.
Dungeoneer, yeah.
Yeah, that's me. I'm a dungeon. Sorry,
Even with that roll,
I
you're
don't
not sure
know.
what this is. This is
Dang.
it doesn't. So you kind of go through the things you think it might be. It doesn't seem like a slime because a slime would just leave a straight old trail with a bunch of ichor behind it. So it's not a slime or anything like that.
That's
It can't be a snake or anything like that because it doesn't do the weaving pattern like you would expect a large snake to do. So, something of that nature. Clearly it's not a beast of any sort because it's not leaving footprints. It's leaving these weird kind of flat, featureless indentations in the dust. So it's not that. The only thing you come upon is that it's some kind of aberrant monster of some sort that you have no idea what it really is, but that tends to lead it towards being something that is
not of this plane.
not of this world.
Morgoth, how far
Extra
Sorry, go ahead.
planar.
how far apart are the indentions? Like it was jumping like a frog?
No,
Are they far?
no. Like
They're close together, like the crawling, like you said.
yeah, like almost like it almost looks like it would be something crawling, but if it was crawling really fast.
So how does this,
Excuse
I'll
me.
ask the halfling, how does the elevator work? How could it, if it's stuck up here, does someone need to bring it back up? Because in that case, whatever it is still up here with us.
He's like, well, it's counterbalanced, you see. So you see that he points over to the thing. When you do that, he points over to a big wheel. And you can see with that wheel, you can see that there's a rope that goes down a smaller hole that's kind of next to it. So the counterbalance stuff that he's pointing out is this right here. It's like right over on the side. And you can see that as you look down in there, you can vaguely see the rope going down but you can't see whatever the counterbalance is because it's just lost in the darkness below.
Is it a big enough hole that someone can climb back down it, or is it just enough for the rope?
It's probably about the size, maybe about a foot across.
So someone probably, well,
If
something
they're
you could
small, they could crawl down it, like a halfling maybe, but it'd be
or
really
change
difficult.
their shape.
Yeah, that's also possible.
So, what was the halfling's name?
His name is Gordon.
So, Gordon, how could if the elevator's back up here,
Mhm.
how could it come back up here unless the thing's still up here?
Well,
Can you send it back up from the bottom?
Well, yeah. I mean, that's how these guys probably got up.
Right, but they died up here and something followed them up to kill them. So,
Sure.
unless it's up here with us, it's been back down. So,
Well, it might still be up here. And he says,
Right.
"Good luck," and he heads back in the tunnel.
okay,
I'm going to report what's going on here. You guys, good luck.
good plan.
Should we go check down these hallways, you think?
Oh yeah, which one? Let's go to the
Go to the single one first, yeah?
first because it doesn't branch off as much. And
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, the single one.
All right, so you guys,
I'll tag along towards the back.
you guys start heading down this way, and
We'll have Morgoth stand in the front.
who's got a light? Because
I-
a few of you don't have dark vision.
Yeah, I cast light on my.
I mean, you still have the stone. You could pick it up. I'm not saying you can't do that. I just
No, I know.
asking.
But I'll just cast it on my club. I'll pull my club out,
Okay. All right, so you guys start heading down here. You
and
see
someone else can too. Don't.
that this
just depend on me.
particular tunnel is about 15 feet wide or so. The track goes down sort of the middle of it, so even if there's a cart going down it, you can still walk on either side of it. I mean, it's tight fit on either side, but you can still do it if there was a cart on it. But there is no cart on it. When you get to down in here, you see that the cart is actually here at the end, and when looking inside of it, there's actually some ore in it. So whatever happened quickly, and people just didn't move the ore. You see a few, like I was saying, you see a few bodies about halfway down the thing. Like I said, the ones over here were quickly. These are about halfway down. And as you get into here, you can see, dropped picks, dropped shovels, dropped hammers, rock hammers, that sort of stuff. A bunch of, piles of ore, probably where they dump out the ore from a particular mine shafts here. Pardon me. And then that's kind of it. I mean, you can give me a perception check as you look around.
Yes. Are the tools there dropped like just end of the day? I drop my tool and leave it there for the next
Some
guy.
of them look like they've been leaned up against like the wall or something like that, as if somebody left them for the next day. Some of them are like dropped where they're at, kind of.
Okay, so it did make it down here,
I
possibly,
proceed.
or they saw something they ran from.
Mm-hmm. So Andal, you're kind of looking around when you notice something odd. Like you're looking around and you notice that over down here, there's the. Remember, I said there was one mining cart here at the end. A little ways over the side, there's a mining cart that's been tipped over onto its, so that the wheels are up in the air, which seems odd because everything your brother has ever mentioned about mining, even the few times that you've talked to him about it, implies that they usually only have the one cart, and then they take one back and they bring another one in, so that they're always filling up one, and then while they take it back, they're just putting stuff on the ground until another one comes in. So it seems odd that there's two down here.
I'm gonna try to tip it over.
Okay, you give me a strength check because it's not light; it's a mining cart.
I'm not that strong.
So Andal goes over there and starts trying to push over a mining cart that's kind of flipped over onto its bottom. You move it a little bit, but that's about it. You don't really get very far.
When I push on it, does it move at all? Like, does it
Yeah, it
seem
does
like there's
move.
something
It does
in
move.
it? No. Does it seem like there's something
Well,
in
no,
it?
like I said, it's flipped over. So, like you're seeing the wheels are on top.
Yeah.
So, I mean, even if there was something that was in it before, it's now out on the underneath it.
Well, I meant like, what if one of these creatures that may or may not exist?
You push
is
it, it moves, but nothing jumps out.
Okay. Morgoth, can you help me push this over? Tip it over?
I guess.
All right, both of
And
you
I'll get my hand crossbow out and
give me
aim
a
underneath.
strength check. All right, Morgoth, Andal, give me another
Yes.
strength check to help him out.
He's much stronger than I. I am the weak.
You
All
rolled
of a sudden,
18?
I'm not
Yeah, all of
weak
a sudden you're
anymore.
weak. So the two of you like, and you kind of push it up, and as you push it up, something small skitters out from underneath it and starts running down the hall, down the tunnel this way.
A rat?
No, as you notice, as you get it, finally see it start running, it's a halfling girl.
Shoot her! No. Try to catch her, grab her, she goes past.
Yeah, so just give me a quick. No, you're able to catch her as you go past. You kind of stop her as she goes past, and she's like, "Oh,
Wait.
oh, it's
We're friends.
people." And so, two things you notice about her right away. One, she looks like she's a little haggard. Either she hasn't slept very well, she clearly hasn't ate very well, and maybe hasn't even drank anything. You can see a sort of cracked lips and that sort of stuff. Which sort of jives with maybe 3 or 4 days being stuck in here.
Why are you hiding here?
And I'll pull some water out and give her some water from my flask.
Did Kat say something? Because I can barely.
She asked her
overhear.
why she's hiding here.
She kind of looks and like, you didn't see the thing, the creature?
No, we just got in here. We know something attacked everybody, but we don't know what it is.
Well,
We haven't
then we
seen
should
it
get
yet.
out, and then I can talk to you about it. We gotta get out of here. We gotta get out.
Okay, let's go back to the hole.
All right, you guys escort her back through the hole.
To the hole.
Yeah.
Is Gordon over there?
Gordon, who?
The halfling.
No, the halfling went back in. Remember, he said, "Good luck. I'm gonna go report."
No. I meant to say, yeah, he said he's over by the hole.
Oh,
Oh,
he went
okay.
back through the hole. He said he was going to go give a report.
Okay. But are the dwarves still there? Or
Yeah,
they...
so you guys go through the hole, and the dwarves are still trying to widen it. It takes you a little bit to get through because you're like, "Hey, we're coming through," and they're like, "Grr," and they grumble, and then you get through. What do you do next? Where are you going to take her?
No, I mean,
I think we should go see. Probably go see my brother. Yeah.
All right. So you guys take her and to the mining office.
well, let's wait till she gets outside and let her sit down, and we're gonna ask her questions
Well,
there.
you take her outside. Do you want to take her to the office or not?
Well, eventually, but I want to sit and talk to her before anyone else can really interfere if something is bad going on.
Well, I mean, as soon as you come out of the tunnel,
Okay, never mind.
like Igneo or Henry is going to go off and start saying, "Hey, we've got a survivor." So,
True.
Let's take her to the office. Make sure she's okay.
I'm not trying to prevent you from questioning her. It's just
No.
they immediately
I'm
go,
saying,
"Wow, a survivor! Let's go tell somebody."
yeah, when they say that, and she's got attention, obviously it's not going to happen. Then let's
I'm
take
going
her
to before we walk off, I'm going to tell the dwarves to keep an eye on the thing because there's still something down there, so they should be careful.
They're like, "All right, thanks for the warning. Maybe we'll take a short break while you guys are."
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
And so they go take a short break.
I don't want them to get attacked by something while we're
All right,
gone.
and so you guys take her out there and take her to the mining office. And Callum is there. He looks at her kind of puzzled a little bit for a moment. And then he's like, one of the people from those 5 that I hired like 5 days ago, right? Like, yeah, I'm Arabella. Or Arabelle, sorry. It's like, huh, interesting. Tell us what you saw. So Arabelle describes the following. She says that 4 days ago there was an explosion. And the
main cave.
the main
collapsed.
caved in. The main hall caved in. And for the next 2 days, the miners that were stuck in there were, there was some supplies that they could eat and a little bit of water they could drink. And everything seemed to be fine. Most of them had moved up. Some of them had stayed down on the second level just because it was easier. And I figured might as well get a little bit of work in while they're at it. Then they get some extra money. Even though they're stuck in here, they're going to get hazard pay anyway for being stuck in here and a few things like that. So they're like, whatever. But then 2 days ago, a a strange. She says a strange light was seen from the elevator shaft. And she was kind of sitting there with some of the other people on the top on the swing floor waiting. They could hear the mining excavations that were going on over here and over here, so they were kind of sitting either on either of these sides. And she saw the strange light from below, and the elevator was already up, so all the miners that were in the mine were already up here, and this creature with glowing eyes came out of the mining shaft and started hunting down the various miners, attacking them and dissolving portions of there with this strange, like, it has multiple eyes, multiple mouths. It was amorphous in thing. It sort of slithered around, but sort of dragged itself around. Had tentacles. It was what she's describing just doesn't sound like it could be real. But she ran down this hall and got under the minecart and has been there ever since. For the last 2 days, she's been under that minecart.
I'm sure that was horrible. It probably saved your life. Can I roll a history roll to see now if I get any type of idea of the monster?
You can, sure.
I will also roll an intelligence roll. I'm stupid.
Damn these rolls.
Would that be an Arcana check on my part?
Yes. Cat's going to do an Arcana check. Wow.
Are we still connected?
Did you lose us?
Nope.
Hello?
I was on mute because I was doing something. No, it's a variety. Nobody is able. It doesn't sound like a creature any of you know. Mostly because it sounds like multiple different creatures that you know, all rolled into one. Like
what creatures?
Shelley, you might think that based on the mouths and the eyes, that maybe it's some kind of aberration from the depths or from some demon regime. But based on it dissolving things, that doesn't jive with that. That sounds more like a slime or something like that. And then the fact that it was all glowing and seemed to just float up through the elevator shaft sort of implies it's something completely different. So there's just too many differing things in there for you to kind of nail it down as to one thing.
And the missing arms and legs were definitely bitten off or done by acid or something
like that. Yeah.
Illusion, some type of they did it themselves or something unusual.
No. It definitely looks like something dissolved to go in.
Okay. Well, should we go back in and see if anybody else is alive?
Yeah, I think we could check the other two, and then
Sounds like a good idea.
step after that would probably be to go down.
Yep.
Give me 1 second.
Before my mage armor wears off. So that was an actual adult halfling. It wasn't a child.
No, it was an adult halfling, yes.
Okay.
Silva?
Okay.
Silva.
I'm not sold.
Yes.
Ryan.
Yes.
And yeah, Silva. Sorry, I gotta check. Sorry, Silva is one of them.
I have dark vision, yes. I think I'm the only one with dark vision, actually.
Silva and
Well-
Andal.
Ooh.
Something doesn't quite jive with their story.
Silva doesn't jive with the story.
Silva and Andal. Something doesn't quite jive with this halfling story.
I see.
How so?
I don't know. It's like she's not telling you the whole truth.
Okay.
Passive insight against deception.
Yeah.
I see. What did she
Would
tell us?
Kat
her
get
name?
that too? I think she's got a pretty good insight. In
Nope.
this
Cat
situation.
and you have the same insight.
Okay.
And this is the last time I'm going to do passive insight. You guys need to ask me if you want to check for that sort of stuff moving forward.
I was getting ready to, but I didn't.
Yeah, something seems off about her story.
Okay.
Has she told us her name?
Yeah, she said her name's Arabelle.
It's Arabelle, right?
Mhm.
Did anything else happen during this time, Arabelle?
No, I've been under there for the whole time. I mean, I tried to. The main problem is it was too heavy for me to get back off, which is kind of true.
That sounds believable, but like,
But then how did you get under it then?
I don't know. Maybe adrenaline. Haven't you ever heard of those feats of strength when you're scared or that sort of stuff?
Yeah, I'm gonna do insight because I know she's lying now. If that's okay.
No, you've heard of those sorts of things.
Yeah, but
She may not be
a
lying. She,
halfling.
doesn't mean a halfling can't have adrenaline spikes.
But that looked heavier than she could lift, correct?
I don't know. She looks like she's got the miner's build. She might be able to lift it.
Okay.
I mean, it'd be difficult, but doesn't mean it's impossible.
it's not like she also needs to lift it all the way. She just needs to tilt it.
She needs to tilt it enough to get under it. That's basically it. But you can
Yeah,
insight
right.
it. That's fine. I mean, you can.
But also, wasn't it on the tracks? It got taken off the tracks too, right?
No, this one wasn't on the. Well, you're not sure if it was on the tracks or not.
Okay.
When you found it, it was off the tracks.
Yeah, I'm not a detective.
Well, I mean,
Not for that. I get investigation.
That particular thing is she clearly, it doesn't seem like she's lying about that. Like she did get underneath it.
So how did it get through the elevator? If the elevator was blocking the hole?
Well, I mean, she's like, I don't know exactly. I just saw it. I started attacking people, but its shape was. What's the word? I just have my schooling. It could change it. It could turn. It could squeeze itself and make itself really thin and really tall, and it was really weird. So it could go through thin things and then come out and kind of just whack people with its tentacles. What it sounds like she's describing is like it's malleable. It's like its shape is amorphous and blob-like, and it can just
Is
get really,
it
really
a
thin
big-
or gather itself back up into a ball kind of thing. That's what it sounds like.
Have I ever heard of anything like that?
No. Again, even you had a 21 Arcana, you haven't heard anything like
Is it a big octopus?
that. Is it a big octopus?
Yes.
No, it's not a big octopus.
So just thinking to myself, she could also, well, shit, I can't really do that. I can, but it's not really cool. I'm trying to think of anything that could disguise. Can I see if maybe she's disguised herself, that she's a creature, maybe?
Hmm.
I'm not really sure of any way to do that.
No, I mean, you could try detect magic maybe.
Yeah, I don't, that would be pretty obvious, and I don't have it. More importantly.
Callum has been just kind of watching while you guys have been discussing, and then he's like, "Where are the people you got hired with? I thought one of them was your brother." And she kind of looks up at him, and then looks down. He's like, "He died."
How do you?
And I don't know where the other ones went.
Did he die to the creature? Again, trying to insight to see if she's gonna lie on this one.
So she says
Yeah.
yes, but do your insight.
Also like to do
I hate dice.
I would also like to do an
That's
insight,
fine.
Nice.
Silva, you notice her kind of. This is probably what tripped you off the first time that maybe she wasn't telling the whole truth. You notice her kind of look. Her eyes shift a couple times before she says yes.
Did you see her? That's not. her voice at all. Did you see him perish?
Yes. She doesn't do that time. So clearly she saw him die.
Okay. And you sure he died to the creature and not to some other?
She starts crying. She's like, no. They just said we were trying to sabotage things and make it so that the people would drive up the iron prices and we would get more money. He was crushed by the
Haven.
cave-in.
Yeah. I
Cat asked who
am a
hired her.
detective.
I don't know if you could hear her say that.
Who hired you?
The guy, the dull guy. Callum says, you mean the guy, the Tedry, I think was his name or something like that? It's like, yeah.
You are getting intimidation.
Yeah.
Who's Tedry? I'm asking
right
his brother.
What'd you say, John?
He's asking
Who's
Callum who
Tedry? I'll
Tedry
ask the
is.
brother who Tedry is.
So,
Or do I know Tedry?
no, you don't. Callum's like, about 5 days ago, I hired a group of 5 people together. There's 2 halflings and 3 humans. And the only reason I even remember them is that they're the guy who spoke for them all, Tedry, had an interesting scar down the side of his face, and he walked with a slight limp. It seemed odd that he would want to be a miner given the slight limp, but we needed people, so I hired him anyway. And that day they kept up with their quota, so there was nothing for me to really think there was going to be a problem here. But this girl was there along with her brother, and it sounds like they're the ones that did the sabotaging.
Now, you say that you thought they were just going to sabotage. Did this Tedry fella release this creature that has attacked
I
them?
don't know. All I know is after the collapse, they went down the elevator, and I haven't seen the 3 of them since.
I wonder
Did
if
the
they
creature-
summoned something.
They very well could have summoned something.
Did the creature come up right after they went down?
No, it was like it was 2 days ago. Like I said,
Well, Detective Supreme over here. We should probably go down I'm talking to
Down
Nadja,
below.
to her. We probably need to go and look down to the next level and see if those 3 people are still there.
We could take her with us to have her identify the bodies, and if anything happens,
Well, she's
kind of looking to see what her reaction to that is.
no. That creature, no.
But I mean,
Yeah.
you're part of this now. You caused this even indirectly, so you put all of these men's lives.
Callum's
and
like, nope, we're throwing her in the lockup. He's currently our only lead onto being able to point out that this really was sabotage, and I'm going to have to do some more stern questions to find out where this Tedry came from. I would be willing to bet it's from the iron hammer mining company. She's like, I really don't, I don't know.
But Tilda hired, or what's his name, hired you, correct? Did you know him from before?
Tedry.
Tedry.
No, he just
Tedry?
we lived in the mining camp, and he just approached us one day. That's all.
Which mine camp?
The mining camp, the one outside of
the one mining camp. Yeah.
Okay, the one.
The mining camp.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's pretty big.
And my brother and I, we needed
Gotcha.
the money. And now he's dead. 'Cause they wouldn't let us run away.
Great planning.
What do you mean they wouldn't? So they wouldn't let you run away before the explosives went off?
Yeah. we thought we were just gonna set the explosives and run away, run out the entrance, and they stopped us. In fact, that's what caused my brother to die. He couldn't. They stopped him, and when he turned back to try to run back, he ran. When he got away from them, and he started running through the thing when the explosions went off.
You know
So they-
why they stopped you?
I don't know.
Because they didn't want to pay them, and it's two less witnesses.
Oh, well. Could be
Your life meant
additional.
nothing to them. Your lives meant nothing to them. Did they pay you up front?
Just a little, about a third of it.
Yeah, they knew you would die. I'm sorry for your brother, but anyways, I turn my back and kind of start pacing the room.
Okay, Callum, you see Callum motion to Igneo from behind, and goes, and Igneo comes and takes the halfling and starts marching her out. Once he leaves, and you can see them walking to another building across the way, he turns to you guys and says, "We're not equipped for strange creatures up here."
So is this the first time you've had problems down below?
Mm-hmm. But it's only been about 2 weeks since we broke into a large chasm down there. So it's possible.
Full of a took.
It's possible that maybe it's just taking that long for whatever creatures live in the chasm to find its way in. It's also possible that this Tedry and his compatriots released it as well. I don't know, but we're not equipped for that sort of stuff. But I have given emergency authorization. I have the power to offer you 100 gold pieces if you can resolve this problem.
Wow.
Cool.
100.
And Pete is telling you it's 100 gold pieces flat. He's not giving you 100 gold pieces each.
That's what I was wondering. And how much is so that's
That's
we
true.
make more than that with the wizard with down our
Well, we
retainer,
make
right?
50. We make 50
No, you
a
make
week.
25 gold a week with
25
it. Yes. with
Okay.
it.
Well,
As a retainer. I mean,
I mean-
yes, in theory you can make more from him, but he's
But it's
basically
an adventure.
he's giving you 100 gold to deal with something right now, which should hopefully only take you no more than a day.
Yeah. No reason not to do this.
well, I'm available right now. Do you have a layout of the lower mine?
Yeah, so he pulls out another map or another scroll and unfills it, and it looks like this.
Oh, and can
Down
you get someone else to explore the upper mine? I'm assuming it's still not there, but we only went to a couple places to the left branch.
Yeah. I'll have Igneo and Henry get some of the people. We're also starting to try to clear out the main portion of the top because we need to get this mine running again anyway.
Right.
So he pulls this out. It's clear from this map that this is where the elevator ends on the bottom.
Okay.
And he goes, "This is where we broke into this chasm. It's not very well explored. Usually when we were mining down there, which is a lot of the time right now, I will have 2 guards down here. More than likely, those 2 guards are dead. You guys do remember seeing a couple of guards as part of the people that were trying to run away. Other than that, I don't know where they could be or what those guys might have been doing. But here's your map of the second level.
Okay.
We also don't know how deep this goes. We can hear water down below because I was taking it down there once and I could hear water below, but I think it's maybe about 50 or 60 feet down is my guess.
Well, probably someone else does know because those 3 wouldn't have gone in. They must know something's down there worth getting, and there's a way out.
It's possible.
Is it just another level of the iron mine, or is there something else down there?
No. Like he said that like a week and a half ago they broke through here.
No. This second level is just all iron,
Yeah,
though.
this is iron. Yeah, this is all iron.
But the chasm could be anything.
But what you had heard before is that one of these spots in here, you're not sure which because he's not telling you, is a pretty particularly rich vein of ore, and so they've been putting more and more people towards it.
It's probably this really big one.
You could ask. John says not.
No, I'm not going to ask. I don't
Okay.
need to. I don't think we need to.
right,
That's
so-
not information we need.
Andy is
So
out.
is there any?
Andy is out in 30 minutes, so we've got about 30 minutes, depending on whether or not we continue on. But just FYI.
Let's go down.
Well, let's go back in.
Yep, that's it.
We'll take
Go
the
down
money.
there.
Okay. I will activate this
Murder
one
random
again.
thing.
All right, so you guys head back in, go back around through the tunnel here again. The dwarves are again trying to widen it more,
Mhm.
and get into here. What do you want to do?
Do we know how the
I say
elevator
we go
works?
straight to the chasm. I mean,
Yeah, I think we just should go down.
Down the
I don't think
elevator.
Those other
I
two
mean-
sides have anything in them.
The one
more
halfling had
horses.
mentioned that there's a counterweight.
right.
So basically, there's a wheel on the side that basically can be used to lower and raise the actual thing.
Once it's down there, is there a way to keep it down there?
Yeah, it's the counterweight. Like you see, the wheel thing sort of has like a chink, 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 chink. So when it's going down, it can't come
Right,
back.
slowly.
Mhm.
But once you're down, can I keep it down there without someone from above?
There's a chink in the thing so that way it doesn't go back up unless someone turns the wheel to go
Mhm.
back up.
Yeah, you have to turn. You have to.
That's what
in
he
essence,
is
pull the
basically,
brake.
yeah.
And
Yeah,
turn
that's
the
just
wheel.
my concern that someone's going to pull it back up. But anyway,
Well, I mean, the like you have people here who will help you.
that's true.
I mean, yes, this is intended to be somebody actually manually works this elevator. There is an elevator operator.
Okay.
Please tip your
Let's go
elevator
down.
operator. All right. So somebody helps you out. One of the mining crew helps you out, sends you down to this level. So you guys are now here. Where do you want to go?
Do you think we should check the other arms just to see? Are there
Let's
any
just go-
bodies down in this main chamber? Or was
I say we
like,
just go straight to it first.
because I think, didn't he say there were like 40 miners in here and we've only seen about 20 bodies?
He was mistaken. When this happened, it was near the end of the shift, so most of the miners were out. It was the night.
Okay, so there was only 20, so we've seen all the bodies
Yeah,
already.
it was
Except
the night
for
crew
those
that
three.
was in.
Okay.
So whoever these guys did it, they wanted it to not have to deal with very many people. So they did the explosion basically, after the night shift started. This mine is running 24/7.
Yeah.
I mean, I do think finding out the better iron ore is, because those people may want to get samples, but they have to get out. And since it's closed, I say we just go for the chasm to see. That's probably the most likely way out.
Should we have them take the elevator back up?
I would think there'd be something. Just let them know there's.
So
it's not us.
the elevator goes down. It goes down about 70 feet before you reach this level, by the way. So this level is definitely well below the upper level. Just an FYI.
Right. So yeah, it has to be another. If they get out another way, it has to be a tunnel up or some type.
That's possible.
Or they could still be down there.
Also possible. All right, so where you
We
guys
can
going?
check each one of them if that's what you want to do. It's a safer way. It's just more time consuming.
I just don't want to get like cornered by something.
Well, do you want to stick on this map and then decide where you want to go? Or do you want to do it manually? Because here's where you're currently at.
And south is the way down.
Yep.
South is the big one. I mean, should we check some of these smaller ones just to be safe?
All right, so for your edification, mine level 2 map is the map that you've been given. So you can always now click on that and look at it if you would like.
Oh, cool.
And then click back and you will come back to this map.
I mean,
if we don't-
regardless, we
Yeah.
don't know where they're at. I mean, they could get behind us no matter what, because we could go down one of the side things. and they're down one of the other ones.
Mhm.
So, yes, if I were being paranoid, which John is paranoid, I would definitely do that. Since you only have 30 minutes, I would go south and see. what
Yeah,
we
let's
can
just
see.
go. Let's just go see what's in the chasm. That's probably where they're at.
All right. And okay, we're back from our little technical snafu. All right, so you guys were here.
Rename it.
You guys were
Right.
here in the middle of level 2. Where do you guys want to do?
Get the chasm.
I say we go.
Move the bodies.
There are no bodies.
There's no bodies.
There
down
will
here.
be.
Yeah, you're not currently seeing any bodies down here.
Are there any footprints? Can our trusty
You can try to-
tracking people?
You can try to track.
Oh, yeah.
See if you can.
Morgoth the boy.
Okay.
Let us know where they went.
So looking around, there is tracks all over the place, just because mining. It's a mine.
Right.
So it's hard to tell with that which way any of these guys would have went. There's tracks just going everywhere, both to and from where the elevator ends here, and it's just hard to tell.
But looking for that unusual dragging type
You're
track.
not- Neither of you see that. Neither Shelley or Morgoth see that.
All right, so let's go south, I guess. I'll stay in the middle. I've got light on my club. If somebody else wants to use a torch,
I'm assuming
Morgoth
you
has
have light.
torches.
I'm assuming you have light, so I'll just leave the.
Silva has dark vision. But
Yeah.
I'm assuming Morgoth's going to lead us because he's the big boy.
well, Silva might want to go a little first just because he can see better.
All right, so you guys can
Or
move
not.
yourselves. You should be able to.
Okay.
Well, but she is not a
Okay.
A fighter.
like
Well, then
fighting.
staying back a little bit behind us so you can see if anyone's sneaking up on us.
I can do that.
We
I
have
guess,
like
yeah.
one frontliner. Everyone else is not.
Yeah.
Okay,
I
so
wouldn't necessarily
Morgoth,
say that's true.
lead us.
Okay.
Oh, go ahead.
Growing
Cole.
stuff.
You can use arrow keys to push to make yourself go. Andal
cool.
is rushing ahead. All right.
I was just messing with the air keys. I
So
didn't realize
you
could
go
use-
down through this tunnel, and sure enough, there's a mine cart down here. This one's empty. It looks like it was probably going back, and on the rails here, and you can see where people have been digging along the edge where they made this tunnel and that sort of stuff. Nothing obvious though, or any. There's no blood or anything like that in here. Just looks like a normal mine. The buttressing of the timbers and stuff in here is a little less precise as it was up in the main tunnel. Just as an FYI.
Okay.
Can
So
I
I'll try to notice that to see where it seems, if it's weaker or if we get in trouble, it may fall.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's just like it's like was made more quickly.
Hasty, right?
Yeah, more hastily than it would have been. Like, and in your opinion, it's probably just they, in their haste to get as much ore out as they can, they made sure that the one up top was as good as possible because that's the place where they're getting everything out. But down here, it's only as good as it needs to be.
Gotcha.
All right, you guys keep on going.
Yes.
Just letting
make
you know.
another? Can I make a survival check to see if we see tracks going this way?
Yeah, you can do another survival check.
Oh,
Nope, just the
so
normal
close.
tracks that you've been seeing before.
So close. All right, let's keep going.
Morgoth, are you moving?
No, I thought there was. I stopped there just in case you had anything.
No, I mean you can see that there's another tunnel down here that leads to more mining tunnels. You can also see that there's equipment here that was kind of dropped. There's planks and stuff that they're probably using for just the quick shoring up of the walls as they do stuff with it. Typical. This is all very typical mining stuff.
It was a panic dropped, or
Some of
just
the
a
stuff was
normal-
dropped in probably not panic. Remember, from her story, everybody was kind of already up on top.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I was just
Yeah. So most of the stuff here is just dropped. Like they probably heard the explosion and was like, "Okay, what the heck's going on?" And so they put their stuff down and went to find out what was going on.
Right, so usually I can put control of the barrel on the boat. It's not fancy.
Hold on, Morgoth. At about that point, back here, right about here. Nope, here. Yeah, you notice some strange-looking creature, and let me show you what it looks like.
Ooh, strange creature. We found it. Let's hope it doesn't
It
dissolve
looks
us.
like that.
What
Oh,
in the
sight.
is that?
Oh,
It looks like that.
You
And
know,
now-
she
and
wasn't
now
wrong.
We're gonna roll initiative.
You know,
Really? It's not
I will
friendly?
I'll give Arabelle her due. She
That's
wasn't
what it
wrong.
looks like.
That is
Yep.
literally what it is.
I tried
It
to
is
describe it to you
every-
as much as I could.
It is what is that?
Well, I guess you'll find out soon enough.
It has a lot of eyes and it's got a lot of mouths. That
and it will eat us.
is
It
a
might.
little
It
disgusting.
might
disgusting.
eat you. Anyway, the name of it will be on the thing.
I rolled a 2 on my initiative. This is great.
But I mean, not that you should really know what it is, but I'll give you
Yeah.
what it is.
Chaos Beast.
Oops! Somebody else rolled, so I accidentally rolled for them. Somebody else. Oh well, it's all right. Shelly,
Chaos
do
Beast.
yours, and then we'll get started on this lovely combat.
Time to fight the idiot.
Morgoth, you also happen to notice that there are 3 bodies, or 3 people lying on the ground. That you assume are bodies.
It got him.
All miners.
Fools. They're all idiots. Does one of them have a scar?
No, you can't tell that quickly, but
Ah.
all right, here we go. Artemis, you're gonna be first. Let's go. You're up. What do you want to do? As Morgoth says, "Wait, there's that creature."
are you sure?
No, actually, I think it's nice.
John, you're up first, by the way.
Okay, sorry. I thought you said Morgoth. I can't. Can I see it on my map?
You can't see it where you're currently at. No, it's just, but Morgoth just now can see it. Basically, now you can see it. It's sort of right on this rock pile here. Right
Okay.
here.
So I'll do this. Actually, I'll shoot it with a firebolt,
Mhm.
and then I will step back.
Okay, go for it.
So my hand crossbow shoots a firebolt, and sorry. Oh, well, I probably hit it.
You do hit it,
Crappy damage.
but yes, you don't do so well. You do 1 point.
Bonus action shillelagh.
Okay.
And I pull my shield out. It was probably out anyway, but I've got a club and shield.
Oops, I did not mean to click on that.
Ooh, disturbing horror.
Well, I mean, you didn't.
I know. We'll see it in a second, probably.
Yeah, not quite. You'll see it when more.
It's that thing.
Okay.
Does it react to the fire, even though it's only 1 point?
It does seem to. Yes, I forgot to put in its. Oh yeah, no, the fire seems to affect it. Yes.
Okay.
All right, Silva, you're up. You saw Artemis walk forward, pull out like a hand crossbow thing, and shoot a bolt of fire at it into the darkness. Although you have 60 feet dark vision, right? So you can see it hit this creature.
And actually, I guess I don't have a shield because I'd use hand crossbow and club. So I'll do that in a second.
Am I able to see it?
Yeah, because you have dark vision. I should really
Cool.
change your token to have 60 feet of dim vision.
I'm gonna
Now you can see it for sure.
cool. I'm gonna shoot it with a gun.
Okay. Give it a shot.
That sounds like a
Mhm.
fun.
Nice.
You guys, the echo of a deafening echo roar happens and echoes through the chamber as the bullet as Silva fires her flintlock. You hit, do damage.
Not subtle, but it's effective, hopefully. Yes, it is.
Mhm. and the bullet rips through a mouth and an eye of like about 1 billion of them. So, so it's hard to really say
It's
that it does a
blind.
lot of damage, but it does
It's
hit
been
it.
blinded. It's fine.
And,
Can't
and
see
Yeah.
it.
a strange blackish ichor kind of spurts out and hits the floor and pockmarks the floor as it sizzles away.
I do have a question.
Mhm.
Because I put on the gun the infusion where it would automatically reload. I can't remember the name of it. Give me 1 second. We can move on. So that'll be my turn for now.
Okay. All right.
But I just want it for next time because if I can't do it, I would use my bonus action as reload. But
No, it's fine. You can put it on there. You just don't have to use a bonus action for that. Shelly, you're up.
Yep.
Sealgair.
Sealgair?
Sealgair.
That's
I
a
can't
seal.
hear Kat, so I have no idea what she's saying.
No, I'm not muted.
So I see, to activate my Crimson Ray is a bonus action, yes?
I think so, yes.
Okay, I'm gonna activate my Crimson Right, so I roll one of my dice, right?
At second level, you learn evoke the right human craft within your weapon. Choose one of the following traits while active attack. Okay, no. Oh no, yes. Roll your die. That would be how many hit points you lose.
Okay.
And it is also but you can still roll that. You still roll 1d4 whenever you hit with the weapon.
Roll one
But to power this right, you're currently using 2 points of damage.
Okay, and then I'm gonna use, I'm gonna target it with my bow.
Okay.
Where did you go, bow? Bow.
Inventory.
Boom.
Yeah. There's it.
That's a hit.
Shot.
So you do 8 points of damage to it.
And did I get the extra D4?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
You rolled an extra d4. So
Alright.
that puts me at. Alright, so Sealgair steps forward and you see a trickle of blood come from her mouth as she seems to maybe have bitten down on her lip or something, you're not sure. But then she fires off this bow and with a strong accuracy it slams into the creature and seems to, I don't know, do more effective than you would expect it to be. Not that it does double damage, just how I'm explaining your blood right. That's all.
you'll get it, Morgoth.
Morgoth, you're up. Morgoth, however, before you start your turn, this happens. So give me a wisdom saving throw. You start your turn within 30 feet, which you are. So you need to make a wisdom saving throw, which you did not make, so you are frightened until the start of your next turn. You cannot move any closer, but you can still attack it. You just have disadvantage.
Well, that sucks.
I go pew pew.
That's fine.
Well, you miss. You see Morgoth pull out his bow, and as he's aiming, you can see him shake a little bit, and as he fires, that shake the arrow just goes off in a slot.
I believe you can do it, Morgoth.
Anybody else? Anything else with that?
Let's go with no.
Okay. It's the beast's turn.
We're
So-
all in a really convenient area effect.
Yeah, it doesn't have any area effects. So you
Thank
see
goodness.
it kind of like shimmy forward on those tendrils, and so you see how it kind of makes that weird kind of pattern in the dirt. 3, 4, and it comes up on. Yeah, okay. Morgoth. No, one more. There we go. Comes up on Morgoth, and 2 of these tendrils streak out and attack him. The first one completely misses, and because it was a 1, I will say that throws it off, so it cannot hit. It doesn't just get the second one because it gets a multi-attack normal. But
An idiot. What a fool.
all right. That is the end of its turn. However, Andal,
Yeah,
you
now I
now
have to
need
make
to
a
give me-
wisdom save throw.
because you're starting your turn within 30 feet.
Wisdom saving throw. No!
You
I thought I
are
was
currently
gonna
frightened
get
as
it.
well, so you have disadvantage on attacks and you can't move any closer.
That's fine. I don't think my bolter is armed right now. I don't think it has anything in it.
I don't remember either. Sorry.
I don't remember at all if it has anything in it.
Yeah.
How
You
many
shoot your
things can I
bow
have at
or-
a time? 6, right?
10.
10. Okay, because it says I have 10. Oh, 9 of 10 charges, but that's probably just some random crap. Um,
What do you want to do?
I am going to load the thing.
Okay.
Which
You're
I
going to
know is
load
an
it.
action.
So you can use an action to fully load it.
Can I use a bonus action to partially load it?
Yes, you can use a bonus action to put in 1 pellet. Yes.
I see. Okay.
If you wish to do that, then you can also fire with it.
Yes, that is true.
Again, though, you still have disadvantage on the attack.
Yeah, I know. I am going to spend my turn loading the bolter.
Okay.
I have to decide what pellets I'm going to put in.
Yes,
You can put
please.
in different types, right?
Yes, you can. You can put in a mix of types. You just need to tell me what order you put them in.
Yeah.
Because that's the order you're going to fire them in.
Because I don't know what some of these do, so we're going to find out what they do.
So just let me know what you're going to put in.
Yeah. I'll come up with an order and let you know.
Okay. Round 2, Artemis. Please give me a saving throw because you're starting within 30 feet. So you're going to need to do that saving throw. Done. Friar Artemis. Give me a wisdom saving throw. All right, so you are not afraid of it. You're fine. Do what you will. You're also muted if you're speaking. John, I'm not hearing you at all.
I'm on mute. Oh, that was so cool. So
I thought you were.
He was on
yeah,
mute.
I had this whole long description. So I drop my hand crossbow,
Okay.
pull my shield.
All right.
That's my one interaction.
All right. You're right next to it.
Yep, I rage and I hit it with my. Oh, I don't have Shillelagh on, do I?
No, you did.
Oh,
Yeah,
just
last
okay.
turn.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
that's
cast it.
That's right. So I'm going to try to hit it with my Shillelagh.
Yeah, that's fine. I remember you casting it, so you're all good.
Well, I didn't, so that's good.
No, you did it really early. 13 to hit. Is that correct?
Yeah, 13 plus I think I get raging bonus. Is raging bonus to hit, or is that later on? It's
Hang on.
bonus to strength. Okay, so 13.
That still hits though.
Oh, cool. So
4
4
plus
6 points because of the rage.
6 points
Six.
total. Okay.
And it is magical.
Yep. No, this thing doesn't have that problem. All right. You.
Oh,
slam into
Shillelagh
it.
might give me bonus damage
Yeah,
too.
that's what
Let
I
me
was wondering
see.
too.
I think it's a 10 when you rolled it earlier.
It's a D8, so.
Oh, you can use your spellcasting ability instead of strength for the attack and damage rolls.
Well, I'd rather use my strength. Why did they do a D4?
And the weapon's damage die becomes a D8.
Okay, so let me.
So roll a D8.
Okay, so I did 8 points.
Okay. So 2 more off of
That.
it. All right.
And yeah, I use my strength because I think that's better because I can use my.
No, that's
Anyway,
fine.
I use strength.
That's fine. All right. That you hit the creature, and some of its eyes and mouths kind of splatter. Give me a dexterity saving throw real quick.
No, this is gonna be bad. Yep.
Okay. So
How much acid?
1 point of acid splashes on you.
Yep.
It's only a D6, so
Well,
it's not a lot.
but I don't get any rage bonus against it.
Yeah. Unfortunately.
Okay,
End of your turn,
that is the end of my turn.
Silva.
Okay, so 2 things. The infusion I put on the gun was the repeating weapon.
Okay.
So that just gives me a +1 to attacking damage, and it removes the repeating shot rather, and it automatically replaces its
Okay.
ammunition.
Okay.
And then I forgot that my homunculus servant gets to do its turn right after my turn. It goes on my initiative.
Okay.
And I can use a bonus action to command it to do an action,
Your
but it
signature.
can move and things by itself.
Okay.
So this turn I will shoot the thing with the gun,
Okay.
because that worked pretty well last time.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
That's
the
a 12.
shot rings out and it misses. It goes over top of it.
All right.
As it moves, as it shifts in between Morgoth and Artemis, as Artemis slams into it. And,
Well, I'll use my bonus action to tell my homunculus to do its force attack or force strike
okay.
on its turn, and that'll be the end of my turn.
All right. Well, then do the force strike. You said it was on your turn anyway.
Yep. Let's see. My spell attack modifier here. Okay. My spell
Well,
attack
so quick, so
modifier.
Andy can get one last turn in before he has to go.
Yes. Sorry, I'm trying to remember my spell attack modifier. Why can't I remember my spell attack modifier?
Yeah.
Give me my spell. Pretty sure it's just like it is 5, right? Okay, sorry. D20 plus. Ah.
13 hits.
Oh, cool.
As your creature, or whatever the heck it is, it does.
Yeah. And then it's a D4 plus proficiency bonus damage.
So D4 plus 2.
Hmm.
So 3 points.
3 points. Okay. Then that's its turn.
All right. Sealgair. Give me a wisdom saving throw because you're starting the turn within 30 feet. So there you go, right there. All right, you're currently frightened of it. So you have disadvantage on attack rolls to it, and you can't move any closer to it.
Okay. So then, as a bonus reaction, I'm going to cast my Blood Curse of the Marked.
Okay.
And I am going to amplify it. What that does is it gives me advantage. So if I have disadvantage and advantage, it just neutralizes. Right?
Okay, we'll cancel it out. You're correct.
And because it's amplified, it doesn't matter if the creature has blood or not. The effect will still be good. So that means I get to double my rate. I get to do 2d4 for right damage.
Yes, that is correct.
Okie dokie. So we go to the bow. Please hit. Please hit. Where's my bow? Where are you? There you are.
That definitely
Nice.
hits. Unfortunately, you only rolled a 1.
Yeah.
So, but roll 2d4. You still have 2d4 for your right damage.
And then I think I have to do 1d4 to amplify, right?
Yes, you do need to roll a 1d4 to take more damage. So you take 3 more points of damage yourself.
Take 3 damage myself, but I deal 11 to him.
Nice.
Yep. All right. Morgoth.
Hey.
I gotta read this real quick. Yeah, you need to make another saving throw since you were afraid the first time. Unfortunately,
That's the
you're still
same.
afraid.
Now can I move back?
Yes, you can move back. Sorry, Sheldon. You can move back to get out of the range of the thing. Morgoth, do what you're going to do. You can still attack, you just have disadvantage. If you're within 30 feet, that's when you still get it. So you want to be 35 feet. 10, your attack misses. Your longsword misses. Morgoth, unfortunately. You want to try to do anything else?
Nah.
All right. The beast does multi-attack. It's going to do 1 tendril at Morgoth first, which it misses.
Yes.
And then it's going to do 1 at Artemis.
Oh yeah, we'll take
Oh, crap.
Artemis.
take the disadvantage
Oh,
because of my protection fighter.
Okay.
So no longer crits. He does an 11.
actually, he
An
misses
11.
that 11.
11 misses. All right. So
Thank you.
the first tendril swings out and just slams up against the
Armor.
no, Morgoth actually dodges that one because it was only a 9. And then another one slams out towards Artemis and Morgoth puts his shield out in the way. And it slams against it.
You are my new best friend.
All right, Andal, your turn.
Doing my job.
Alright, I have to roll another.
Yeah, you
I
have to roll it again because you failed the
I
first one.
failed. I sucked.
Once you make it, you're fine for the rest
Yeah,
of
I
the combat.
know. Please give me the other die. Thank
You're
you.
okay. You're fine. You are no longer.
All right, what's the roll for the bolter again? Oh,
it's
it's in here now. I can just click it.
Yeah, it should be just an attack roll. It's a dexterity proficient. You should be
Right.
proficient with it.
This first one is fire.
All right.
Wait, that just does damage.
You should really roll an attack roll with dexterity, with proficiency because you do get proficiency.
That's gonna be plus. What is my dexterity? +5. That includes the.
I'll figure out a way to make it so the attack rolls on there the next time.
Does it keep going on though?
You hit.
Keep up or?
All right, so you do 1 point of fire damage to it.
God bless.
Anything else you want to do?
Why, man? Why did I roll a 1? No.
Okay. You should probably
Well,
head out.
I don't know. I'm whenever they get here and say they're here, I'll leave.
Okay.
So I will. I'm
Artemis,
still
you're
not
up.
leaving yet.
The
Cool.
creature is not looking so great.
Idiot.
Okay.
Fool.
Artemis, did you fail the?
I passed it,
Okay, just making sure.
so I don't have to do it again.
You're correct. I was just making
So,
sure.
remind me, do we do advantage if we're
No, you get
like
+2.
this or- +2 like this?
Yep, flanking is +2.
Okay, so I'm flanking,
Mhm.
and I'm going to hit it with my club again,
Okay.
and I will use my spell casting ability, so that's a +3,
Okay.
whatever I roll.
So you'll have a +5
Yep.
total.
I really should set this up like that. Fortunately, I have
20 will hit.
advantage.
20 will hit.
Okay, so that's going to be, oh yeah, it's a
3
D8.
plus.
It's a D8.
Right,
That's
D8.
the club's still,
Yep. Do your D8.
so 10 points.
10 points. You slam into it again. Give me another dexterity saving throw to avoid the splash of the.
This is Cat's thing of taking damage when you hit things, not mine.
That is enough. You will take half of this.
Okay.
Once I roll the 1d6.
Ow.
3
Good
points.
thing I took a half.
Well, you'll take 3 points. As you slam into it and you spurts all over this thing and this acidy kind of stuff
Ugh.
hits you. But you only take half of it. Anything else you want to try to do?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I've still got light on the club. No.
All right, Silva.
Alrighty then. I'm going to shoot it again.
Shoot it again. Shoot it again.
Fun.
Just keep
And I'm
blasting.
doing my best to deafen
So,
everyone.
you know,
in
anyways, I just started
the room.
blasting, you know? Just, yeah.
Yeah. Come on.
11 misses.
It's 12.
12
That-
misses.
Yeah.
As the shot goes wide.
Yeah. That's the exact same roll I got
You
last.
need to learn to shoot better.
I shot better the first time.
Yeah,
Use
but then you.
crossbow. Hand crossbow never goes bad. Come on, man.
All right.
Mine's laying right beside you.
But it's not as fun. I
what
will
do you
do
wanna
a
use?
bonus action to command the
Okay.
Holinkus just to do the same thing
All
as
right.
we did last
Have
time.
it do its thing.
So I'll roll that.
Rolling.
Whoops.
I
have to
am
roll.
homunculus. I am humunk and ulus. Oh no.
Well,
It
all
misses
right.
this time, unfortunately.
We just can't do nothing on this time around.
Sealgair, your turn. You do not have to make a saving throw because you're not within 30 feet. What do you wish to do? And you guys are muted, so I don't know what you're saying if you're saying anything.
No, we're not. You just can't hear. We weren't muted. You're just quiet.
I wish to go pew pew at the big ew.
Okay. Go for it.
That's why I should use headphones. Anyway.
You hit.
And there's the extra D4 damage, so that's 6.
All right. So, how do you want this thing to go away?
So I hit it, and it looks like it's knocking it down, but then all of a sudden this extra just like explodes his head.
Well, it doesn't really have a head, but I get what you're after. All right.
Okay.
So, an arrow comes flying past you, Andal and Morgoth. It strikes the very center of the creature, and you see when it does that, it goes in, and you see a glow. You see all the eyes and mouths kind of glow slightly, and this glow is a really weird orangey, yellowy, scintillating color. And then after a moment, you see the whole thing just kind of collapse into a pool of acid, except for this core of this thing is like a little not pellet, but a small sphere of this kind of scintillating color that after a moment fades out and just drops into the acid and then melts.
Ugh.
And
What
so ends
the
the
hell
creature.
is this thing?
Dead?
Are there any weapons or
It is
anything
dead.
that?
So now that we've like seen it, have we heard of something like this before?
We've never seen anything or heard anything like this before.
I will take a sample, Peter, in a glass.
Well, all that's left of it is acid. So
Yeah, that's what I'll take.
that's
I
fine.
mean,
You can. I'm just saying that's all that's left. It's not like there's a tentacle or something you could cut off and use. It literally dissolved into acid.
so well done. I didn't know you could do. What are you doing talking to Sealgair?
Sealgair.
Cat's character.
Shelgar.
Sealgair. Shall we?
There's no H in there.
It's Irish.
It's Irish.
Okay. So how'd you do that? And are those the guys we're looking for? Nodding over to the three miners.
You can give me a perception check from here. Otherwise, you can go check them. Your choice.
Let's go look at him. Where's the body?
They're over there. I just didn't put bodies in here.
Okay.
So
do they
what you
look
see is you see a woman and two men wearing
Mhm.
mining gear. As you look them over, the woman has a partially dissolved arm.
Good.
One of the men, his entire face, his face is just dissolved off.
Cool.
The last one is the guy with the scar, and he actually looks untouched. Actually,
Is he alive?
All
Medicine
right, you
check.
gonna check?
Is that guy alive?
all right, you go down to check him, and you feel a swift kick in the side, and he jumps up, and we'll stop there.
He's alive.
And we'll stop there since you're getting close to the
This
stop time.
fool.
So next time you'll see this guy, you'll have to potentially try to figure out what this guy is up and what.
Cool.
Cool.